baby.
Get your questions and comments ready. Here we go. The Sawmill and Forestry Roundtable.
Did that work? How about that? Muted my mic. We're live on Forestry and Sawmill Roundtable. We're going to do a couple little things different this month. First of all, we're still going to talk about your logs and your lumber and your sawmilling and your sawdust. So nobody panic. But we're going to talk a little bit about how we film this, how somebody who wants to start a YouTube channel, a sawmilling YouTube channel, some of the unique challenges when you're sawmilling wood. We're going to go over Tech to Treetops with James Hicks, special guest James Hicks. We're going to still do the military salute to veterans with Vic. And then we're going to have a presence for wood people with John Chapman, all about your social media presence with your sawmill channel, with your YouTube channel, with your sawmill, if you want to do that. And now I'm going to introduce to you the person who's going to introduce the rest of us. He's half of the most outdoorsy duel since Grizzly Adams went camping. It's Rick, the Adirondack Axe France, logging legends running his family. Take it away, Rick. You're up. Introduce everybody else.
Okay, so we have, he notches, he fells, he probably sharpens his teeth with a file. Tim, the Northern Notcher France, Upstate's original log whisperer.
Hello, everybody.
You'll hear the saw before you see him. Paul, the Adirondack outlaw, is carving through the backwoods like a renegade with a rip chain. He gets the swagger of Scotsman and skills of a Sawyer. Craig, the lumber Highlander quilter, the only man who mills with a kilt.
We don't have Neil, and we don't have Vic.
We have to have James.
All right. We have me. You got to introduce me.
Oh, turning firewood into fitness, sawdust into six packs straight out of corn country. It's John, the Prairie House. How about Prairie
Close.
Dog? Prairie Dog Davidson.
Close enough.
Where the gym has no walls and the logs are for lifting. Google fears him. YouTube bows to him. He doesn't chase the algorithm. He talks to it. And it listens. Get ready for James, the algorithm whisperer, Hicks. Welcome, James.
Man, that's good. Oh my goodness.
You are part of the craziness.
James is going to tell us all about what we should be using for cameras, what we should be using for our YouTube channels, what we should not have done just now. probably. He's going to tell us we shouldn't have
Man,
done any
okay.
of
Is that
man.
what we're gonna do? Is
Absolutely.
that how we're gonna start this off? First and foremost,
Yeah.
oh my God,
Give us a
these are my
critique.
people
There
now.
you go.
Yeah, these are definitely my people here right now because folks behind the scenes, I've been online with them for about 15 minutes behind the scenes, and this is better than Ringling Brothers. This is this is the truth. I appreciate you guys for inviting me to come on and chop it up with you a little bit, have a conversation. John's my guy, so he put up the smoke signal, and I said, yeah, anytime, brother. James Hicks New Media, based out of Northern California. I do digital publishing and technology consulting. Been doing it for a long time, and worked for a lot of the top Silicon Valley organizations here in Northern California. So I've worked at Dell, I've worked at Apple, I've worked at HP, so all of those. And if there was any blessing outside of COVID, that was when I really started saying, let me turn these lights on, press record with the camera, and start telling stories and start having other people come on to share their stories as well. And not just that, but folks at that time wanted to start learning how to leverage this technology, wanted to start learning how to get out with their groups like you guys are, right? Get their band of fellowship, get their band of brothers, get their team, get their squad together, promote, own something online, own some digital real estate. And, the questions started coming up about some of that infrastructure piece. Because a lot of times folks are hesitant they've got a great idea, right? Got a good dream, got a good idea, but then they start letting things get in the way. Which camera should I have? Which light should I have? I see this YouTuber or this content creator that spent $3,000 for the camera. Do I need that day one as well? No. Long answer short. So I coach and I talk to a lot of folks about, again, getting out of their own way and what makes sense for their particular need and their particular community and their particular intentional purpose for having a digital presence online. So listen, you guys tell me where you want to go. If I can ramble on for days, John has seen me. If there's unlimited tape, we can go for hours here, brother. But I'm just down to answer some questions or just chop it up with you guys.
No, I know you're on a limited schedule here, so don't want to take up all your time. I wanted you to tell us about who you were, and you did, man, and I love that. But I guess that was one of the things, you know what I mean, that you said is everybody thinks that, I need a $3,000 studio, you know what I mean, to go live, and
yeah.
I think man, I'm not saying that we are that we're out there killing it, but we're out there for sure, every month, and we've been doing it for a year and a half, you know what I mean, and usually we're running about 70 people, you know what I mean, all the time here, and people are always on my channel, on these other guys' channels, what camera are you using to film that? What camera should I use to film this? You know what I mean? And I don't know those answers. All I know is most of these guys, you know what I mean? We got a phone and I got a couple GoPros, but I don't know what I should have, you know what I mean? And what I shouldn't have.
Yeah, I understand the question. Yeah. And, the answer to that is it depends on you and where you are in that stage in the journey, right? Because you think about it, everyone in their pocket right now has $1,000 phone. You don't know anybody's phone number in there, but you know how to use that camera that takes 4K video, which takes HDR photos as well. So you've got that device, regardless of the platform, iOS or Android. So you've got that device, and a lot of times we'll say start with what you already have. So you've got that, buy a couple of mounts, put it in your room, your studio, your kitchen, wherever the case may be. Make sure that you at least have some audio treatment from that perspective, so you don't have any cross noise, anything like that. But from a camera perspective, start with what you already got. You don't need to give into the peer pressure of thinking I got to stream in 4K. I got to have this full frame camera. I got to go get this new Sony, whatever the case may be. No, what you can do is just use what you've already got in your back pocket with these encoder platforms like you guys are using StreamYard. With these encoder platforms, It's very straightforward now to just go live from any website as well, right? Because since StreamYard is browser based, you don't have to have a huge, robust system in and of itself to do the thing. And one thing I want to say for you guys as well, John, you said again, you've been doing it for years. You've had multiple, you have hundreds, if not thousands of people that watch, not just the live, but not the replay. It's not always about the production. It's about the content. So you could come in blurry as hell, but the content and the back and forth, and then when you guys are showing the videos, you're showing the how-tos, you're showing what you do every single day, that the content is what brings your community back. We the community can let you go with crappy video, right? We can. The audio piece though, that has to be dialed in. We will leave if the audio is bad, but we will stay if the video is flaky. And that's a weird thing to say, but if you think about it, even when you're like watching TV or you're doing something like that, if the audio is good, you'll stay and at least listen. But if the video is bad, that focus more on the content, focus second on the audio, focus third on the camera, and then fourth on the lighting. Lighting is very important as well. But so those four things are kind of in that order: the content, the audio, the video, and then the lighting.
I'm totally agree with that. And here's the thing, these guys say when we started this, everybody's like, "Oh, well, I don't have some great big sawmill operation." And I'm like, "Well, our viewers don't want to hear about a great big sawmill operation. They want to hear about, you know what I mean? The guy with like Paul has a manual mill, you know what I mean, and turns the logs by hand. And Rick and Tim both have manual mills, turn the logs by hand, and some of the other guys that we had in here had real big sawmills, and all that. And you're like, but when you bring it all together, a couple guys are on the East Coast, a couple guys are on the West Coast. We've got some big mills, we've got some small mills. I said, that's what they want. They don't care that my lighting sucks and half of my face here is yellow. Yeah. You know what I mean? And Craig's background's dark, and who cares? You know what I mean? They're here for us, I think, and to hear us.
Well, the producer in me sees those things too. But again, we're not going to point out. We're not going to nitpick. Right. There's a nuance from a production perspective, just because again we're in this ecosystem. But 98% of the community and of the consumer isn't worried about that. They don't care about that. And what they want is they want to see Craig behind the scenes. They want to see him with a mounted GoPro, either on his jacket or on his hat or something, doing the behind the scenes work, talking and doing the thing. Less important about how he looks, but can I hear him? Can he explain something to me? What is Paul doing? How does he go about acquiring equipment, acquiring gear, engaging with the community? That's a huge thing as well, right? So the content piece, and then actually engaging with folks as they put something in the comments, acknowledging them. Folks are like that, right? We like to have that acknowledgement. And that's just a human trait. So when you get folks that are coming on within your streams and acknowledging them as they're talking to you, that's a huge thing as well. That brings them closer to you and your community. That helps not just the engagement piece, but also in the sharing piece. Because someone in the network, someone in the comments sees that you're communicating with them, they'll reach out to someone in their community and say, "Hey, you know what? I was on the stream. These guys, we were talking, they were interacting with me. You should check them out next month as well." So that'll help blossom and grow the community as well. So there's all these nuanced aspects of digital creation that matter. And there are the other ones that don't matter. Again, worrying about fancy camera, worrying about the fancy mic, worrying about the fancy lighting and things of that. Use what you got, and all the rest of the stuff will come. And again, I'll say this as well. Everyone's end goal, everyone's level of success is different. So what John wants to do versus what Craig wants to do versus what Tim wants to do, right? It's at the end of the day, it's probably different. Are you guys looking to gain some brand partnerships and brand sponsorships? Maybe not everyone wants to do that. Are you looking at getting those YouTube checks on a monthly basis? That's a whole nother thing as well. If that's what you're looking at doing, cool. if you got some merchandise that you want to start promoting in that by leveraging this platform. So everyone has that own journey that they're going through and has their own success criteria as well, if that makes sense.
Yep.
John, let me break in here for just a second.
You
I'd like to
100%.
acknowledge and welcome everybody that's joined us up to this point. And right now we have Mr. James Hicks on. We have him for a limited time, so we're trying to pick his brain as much as we can before he has to go. And then we will get to you. If you have questions, pop them up there, and we'll try to address them as quickly as possible.
Yeah, well,
I love it. Fern Riverside. She's like, Greg's about to turn on all the lamps in his rooms. They messing with you, man. I'm not messing with you. They picking on you, brother. Okay. You gonna turn all the lights on. You know, you gonna find a candle here and there, and you go.
I miss Jen.
I like what Out of the Woods saying as well there too, right? Audio has been a big issue. Mics don't like equipment running. So again, I mean that's some of the nuance as well. You start getting into having sound treated rooms, having condenser versus dynamic mics, right? Because condenser mics hear everything in the room if you're not in a sound controlled or sound restrictive studio type of environment. So if you've got a dynamic mic that has an audio interface that's connected to it, you can eliminate a lot of that external noise as well. So that's a real good statement there by Out of the Woods.
A lot of our content's going to be outdoors as well.
Yeah. I mean, so if you're going to be, you think about this. So outdoors, if you're going to be using like a lavalier mic or something, John, I don't know if you want me to start naming off companies as well, but again, if you're using a lavalier, turning on that noise cancellation, turning on the echo cancellation, turning on all of those sound cleansing capabilities for that equipment will help with that. Because we don't want necessarily the background noise of everything else happening, but when you're running the mill, maybe you do want your audience to hear that. But again, having that granular control and using the equipment that makes sense. Buy the equipment once instead of twice. But people pay attention to what they pay for. So don't go out there buying cheap gear. Buy the gear that matters, right? Don't go out there just because it's, I don't want to say bad. And listen, my mom works at Walmart. I was going to say something about Walmart. Just buy the gear that matters and makes sense, as opposed to just trying to find the best deals all the time. Okay, I just cleaned that up.
You backed out of
she
that
might
one.
be watching right now, so yeah, she might be watching.
Mama gonna get you.
She will. I'll get a call and a text in a few minutes because I put it on Facebook that I'm live with you guys. So I'll get a text in a few minutes, I'm sure.
Yeah. So I got two of those mics. I got two lavalier mics. I've got a Ceramonic.
Ceramonic's great.
Because it had the range, you know what I mean? And it has a little bit more range than the Rode does. The Rode is probably better, but the Ceramonic is better when I'm behind a tree. You know what I mean? And when I'm 45 yards away, the Ceramonic's just that much better. And
from a price versus cost perspective, right, Ceramonic is actually less expensive than the Rode. But notice what you just said there. Your use case is more efficient and more effective with those. And listen, Ceramonic is the truth. So, I mean, that they make some really good equipment as well. And, you know, folks will typically see something like a DJI or a Rode or obviously Ceramonic. But there's a lot of other companies that are probably bubbling near the top of the marketing promo wheel. But Ceramonic is definitely someone to look at as well. Yeah, good brand.
Right. But they do not. I went out and got a Hollyland after that, a Hollyland Mark II. And I can run the mill. I can run the tractor. I can run the mill, whatever's going. I can run the chains. I can be holding the chainsaw and the noise cancellation on the Hollyland. You can't hear the chainsaw running. You know what I mean? And I can be talking to you, just standing there talking to you.
Yeah, that's the way it is with our sawmills too. It does the same thing.
Yeah, it just totally eliminates that noise. So
it's good stuff.
You got to watch what you're looking for.
And the fact that they clip onto your, what about sound during editing?
Yeah.
Yeah, it depends on which editing software that you're using and that you really want to be able to get granular in terms of noise isolation. So I use DaVinci Resolve and Descript. Those are the two tools that I've kind of staked my flag in the ground and said, these are the ones that I'm going to use for creating all of my content and doing all of my multicam editing and doing all of the from the pre-recorded to actually posting. But being able to separate those tracks, right, for separating the audio and the video tracks, and then like dialing down and being real granular in terms of when you want to do some turning down of the speaking, turning down of the external noises, or whatever the case may be. So the best thing to do is look for one of those editing packages, editing tools, editing platforms that allows you to separate audio and video. I know there's CapCut that's out there right now, which is used a lot by folks, but CapCut, listen, be careful with
tell you to
CapCut.
go to that. Just go right.
But see, okay, no, CapCut is dope. CapCut, read the new terms of service for CapCut.
Yeah.
As of about 78 hours.
Yep.
Just I know we don't want to read manuals a lot of times, but read the terms of service of what CapCut is putting out there, because anything comes, long answer short, any liability, any issues with copyright strikes or restrictions or things of that nature, they're wiping their hands and they're pointing fingers at you. They're just take a look at them before. Great platform, very easy to use, a lot of integration, right? So you can do all of the transitions, the effects. You can do all of the audio. You can bring in different media and all that. Very simple, desktop, web, mobile, all of that. Read the fine print, folks.
Yeah.
I won't say anything bad about them, because I still have my subscription, which is on the OG pricing too, which is still the $7.99 a month. So I'm gonna hold that until whatever happens with them. But just be cognizant of the platforms that you're using, and should something happen, right? Like if you're monetized on YouTube and you mess around, you get a copyright strike, or you get flagged for something, just who at the end of the day is going to be held liable for that? And CapCut just put out in their new terms of service that they are removing themselves from liability, and it's on the creator. So,
And they
Nice.
wasn't there something about they had the right to use your software anywhere they wanted to?
CapCut says they can do what they want to do.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah, right. and
I
I don't like too many folks telling me what I can and cannot do and what you can do with my stuff. So
right, what they're gonna do with your
we are breaking up. Yeah,
Okay.
me and CapCut
Okay.
breaking up.
Yep. I called all my family. Told them to delete that.
Yeah,
Oh,
you
we
were saying it's
appreciate
burning
that,
down
John.
today.
Huh?
Thank you, John. You said you called all your family. You called us.
Yeah, I called you guys several times.
We love
Yeah.
you too,
I was-
buddy.
I was hoping you weren't freaking using CapCut, man. I was like, oh, these guys are not putting
No,
all this
we're
stuff on
good.
CapCut.
We're good.
Out of the woods is using Filmora. I mean, Filmora is a good platform as well. Very versatile, desktop, web, and mobile. I have seen some creators a few years ago who got caught up in some licensing issues with them. They had a lifetime deal with Filmora. That lifetime deal was canceled. And then there was just some contingency and some contention about that. But they're a good company too. I when I used them back in the day, I don't know how it is as of late, but there was always a lag in the processing, right? Because and John knows this. When I go live, I'm streaming in 4K, so I've got large files. I'll go for 90 minutes. It's a 4K file, so it's an 8 gig file. And when I push that into when I used to push that into Filmora, it would take forever to process. Shouts out to Script. I use, which I said I use now, 10 minutes. It's gone through, it's transcoded, it's gone to do all the transcribing, it's actually identified all the speakers, it's broken it up. 2 minutes later, I can create all of the shorts and the small clips and the highlight reels that I want. So, yeah, I've just made that move. But Filmora is a decent program, a decent platform as well.
Nice.
James, what's your thoughts on UCut? We use that with our cell phones.
Is UCut a video editor?
Yes.
Haven't heard
yes.
of that one. I spell
Very
just
quick.
letter U and
Y-O-U.
I'll pull it up. We can give him
Very quick, very fast.
UCUT. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No, YOU cut. Okay, let's see. So
yeah,
that's y'all Android folks. Is that what that is? That's
Yeah.
on the
we're an Android.
listen, hold on. Okay.
Hey,
won't
we're
lie.
cheaper than
I'm
cheap.
two-fisted.
Hey, don't hold that against us.
No,
Yeah, right.
listen, I'm two-fisted, man. I'm two-fisted.
There you
I
go.
worked for
There you
Apple
go.
for 10 years, but so I am a member of the cult of Mac, but I do have this Pixel in my pocket too. I'll do some research on it, but I'll check it out. But again, anything that allows you to do all of the cuts, do all of the J cuts and the L cuts, and do those things, add in intros, add in outros, add in captions, clean up the audio, allows you to do some of that basic functionality. And since it's mobile, again, you guys are typically remote and you want to do that offline, and you want to do that when it's most convenient, as opposed to getting back to your desktop or getting back to your laptop anyway. I am not one to say you have to go with this solution or this platform or whatever. Go with the one, like I said earlier, about the infrastructure, the one that makes sense for you. So if UCut is making it happen, this video editor and maker, as it says, make it happen. Make it happen. I'll check it out though, because again, I got this Pixel. I'll download it now.
A lot of times UCut will allow us to, like, one of us will be running the Sawmill, the other one's sitting there. He can edit it. He can edit some of the footage that we just have done, and we can be done editing in 30 minutes.
See, and a lot of platforms don't allow that collaboration piece. So that's a huge thumbs up for that right there. Just allowing you to work seamlessly, kind of as a team in a group scenario where one is actually doing something, one is actually doing something behind the scenes. So that, again, helps take cycles out of the workflow, which I talk a lot about. If you can find tools, processes, hardware, services, or whatever the case may be, to help you take cycles out of your workflow. And again, if it matters to you and if it resonates to you and it makes sense to you, make it happen. Make it happen.
Work smarter, not harder.
There you go, man. Put that on a t-shirt, man. You see, I'm wearing my own shirt, so it's all about branding. So put that on a t-shirt right there, man. Yeah, no, I'm checking it out. It's been out for a while, so okay. Yeah.
You need to talk these guys into branding too. You know what I mean? You need to talk these guys into fourth wall or something like that. You talk me into fourth wall, I know that. And
yeah, it speaks for itself, man. So
yeah.
Okay. If I could talk about fourth wall for a minute, I won't talk about fourth. I'll talk about personal branding. I won't necessarily talk about that.
There you go.
As you see from this shirt, it says,
I'm the brand.
I am the brand. Right. And a lot of the gear that I've put out now, like this one says creator, right? I don't necessarily have my name on it. I don't have even a lot of stuff I put out doesn't have my logo, because no one except my wife and my kids want to walk around with my name on it. Right. John's not going to walk around the house with mine, but he may wear something like this. Or wear one of the other pieces of gear. Find something that's majority focused, majority friendly. Right. So don't make the gear for yourself. Make the gear for you, for your community, and for the network that you're building. And the YouTube partner program is only a small piece of really the revenue recognition for digital creators. And I know you guys are doing what it is that you do, from the sawmills and the woodworking and all of that piece. And I don't know if you consider yourselves to be necessarily digital creators, but you are, obviously, right? You got this digital storefront, you have this digital footprint, you are digital creators, and you are talking to your community. So your community does want to represent you. The folks that show up each week, each month, whenever the case may be, they would love to say, I got something from Paul. I got something from John. I got something from Craig, whomever, right? And dude, the Kilted Sawyer, if you don't have some gear that says that yet, I will make you something.
I
if you
know,
don't have
right?
a logo, I'll make you a logo tonight. But yeah,
and look at that beard, Kevin. He's got the beard too.
Man, Greg, you and I we gonna talk after this because I'm we about to blow you up, man. We about to
Alrighty.
make something happen. And John, the reason that I was saying not necessarily fourth wall, because there's other platforms out there that do very similar. I happen to know and work with Fourth Wall, though I believe that they are one of the most efficient and effective for creators because they handle all of that back end. They handle all of the support. They handle all of the inventory. They handle all of the shipping, all of that stuff. You just promote it to your community. You design the site. You do all the things. But, there's Spring, there's Shopify, there's a whole bunch of other environments as well. What's nice about Fourth Wall, though, speaking about them, is that they integrate with your YouTube channel as well. So the merch shelf, when you do become monetized on YouTube, you can actually have them linked directly to your YouTube channel and have products showing up on the wall on screen as you're live that points people to that storefront.
I think too, like what you said, that a lot of people, when they do merch, they try and push their own logos instead of what people are really actually looking for. You know, they want to get their name out there.
So can I share a screen? I've got a screen that I have in the back of the house here.
Oh yeah, here we go. We got. Try that one. It's James isn't even in that one.
Okay.
Well, that looks like a cannon to me.
Well, I'm not selling cannons. I can't.
Nice job. Nice job, John.
Easy with the cannons, guys.
I can't get that ship out of FedEx from California. They don't let us do a lot around here. I'm trying, but
Vic's in there too.
Oh goodness.
Can you share a screen?
I saw it in there a minute ago. Can you do it again, Kevin?
There we go. Okay, so this is my Fourth Wall site. This is my merch site, and it's at hicksnewmedia.com. And I've got merch out here, tops, bottoms, hats, shoes, and everything else. But nothing that is on here has my name or my face on it. The only thing that has a likeness of me is an AI-generated kind of my avatar, and I call it DigiScoop. So this little guy right here, it's an AI-generated logo of myself. There's only a small amount of the merchandise out here that has that, though. Everything else is sayings either that I've said, like, unbothered, because I normally don't like people, but hey, I still do the thing, right? But focus has always been a catchphrase that I've used for the number of years. Stay focused on you. So I've got stuff like that. Team No Sleep, John, you've seen that. My other show called for the social impact of sports. So we have that. Got my shoes out there, but see so the shoes, there's no external markings on them except for internally on the heel right there where I've got that logo, and then on the tongue I've got my name printed right there. So no one wants to walk around with my name or my face printed all over the shoe. So I'm making very clean with just some real minimalistic markings on them.
But that makes sense.
Fourth Wall
I think,
yeah. One of them says James and the other one says Hicks. Now that would be.
And see, only me or my dad will wear that. No one else wants to wear that. Right? So I'll sell 2 pair.
But this makes great sense because everybody, sayings and stuff like that. That's awesome. I mean, we wouldn't know where to go. I mean, we were just trying to push our logo, and it's just didn't want to go nowhere. 2, 3, 4. That's about it. But this is, I'm glad you brought this up because merch stores could significantly help your channel if you advertise correctly. And now you give us all ideas of what we need to do, as far as for the merch stores.
And with Fourth Wall in particular, there's no startup cost. There's no cost to get it going.
Oh, that's neat.
They make their money off of from a wholesale perspective. So there is a minimum for what you can charge, right? You definitely obviously want to be giving away everything, and people are in business to make money. So you want to charge value and what you want to charge worth. So you have the wholesale price, but then you charge the premium on top of that, and you get your profit. But their Fourth Wall in and of themselves make the money off of the money prior to wholesale. So that there's no, again, out of pocket for you to even get this going. So there's no excuse. There's no excuse.
That's nice. Yeah. I just think a lot of people hit a wall, you know, don't know really which way to go.
Yeah, I haven't made a banner.
Your stuff reminds me of PBD. The guys on PBD, their gear's all clean, sharp looking stuff. That's what it reminded me of.
Thank you, sir. You know, just for that, let me fire up a promo code or something. Just for you guys. Just for that, I'm gonna just give stuff. Hold on.
That's awesome.
Keep talking like that. Yeah, you.
The other thing,
talking like that.
Well, no, watching all that and listening to you, that's sort of remind me of. It's like I told Rick and Tim the only reason I watch them guys, they remind me of Uncle Tony.
Well,
so
I'm going to tell you right now, James, if you'll share your phone number with Craig, you'll send him a free sweatshirt just so he'll leave you alone.
Yes, he will be your number one fan.
I just made a 20% off promo code just now. I don't know if I send it to you guys here in the back room or whatever, because keep talking like that and I'll show up every month. But yeah, this is on H. I just made a code on the store.
Oh, and just one warning, James. Craig never sleeps. He'll text you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
So you saw the Team No Sleep. I can get you some Team No Sleep gear to really soon.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
That's him right there.
So
Jen Hardy's out there working. She's already emailing logos. So see that? She's working hard already.
I know.
Awesome.
Craig, the ball is in your court, man.
Okay, buddy.
We waiting on
I'm
you.
telling you.
We waiting on you, man. All right, there we go.
So
I'll stop picking at you.
You sell anything digital on there? Because you can sell digital on.
Yeah, I sell kind of guides to beginner, intermediate, and advanced in terms of studio prep. So again, what type of camera, being a mobile phone, what type of infrastructure. So something like a Stream Deck, the small one, the I think it's the 6-key one. What type of microphone? So just kind of small, medium, and large in terms of what stage of that evolution of that path that you're in. So I've got those and just some other types of things I'm putting together as well for folks wanting to build out runs of show, what to do pre, what to do intra, what to do post, how to leverage and use these different platforms as well for taking this long form, this 60-minute, 90-minute, however long it is, and turning it into 30, 60, 90-second shorts, and how to push those out to multiple platforms as well. So yeah, long answer short, yeah, I do have those conversations, those dialogues, and those assets they're available as well. And
so that's, I don't want to push any digital content, obviously, but that's what I liked about Fourth Wall is when I sell lumber on there, they take 3% or something. You know what I mean? And that's it.
Yeah.
If it's your content, if it's your digital content, they take a very, very little, you know what I mean, piece of it. Where if you're selling my lumber on a lot of these other shops, you know what I mean, they're wanting 20% and 10%.
Right.
And,
right off the top. Right.
Right. And that's what I liked about the Fourth Wall, other than creating the gear too. But all right. And then somebody else said something.
It's awesome.
What'd they say? Oh, Sawbucks. Fourth Wall. Fourth Wall is it's a place for you. See, he's got his own YouTube channel too, right there. Sawbucks does.
Yep.
It's a place you can sell your gear. It's a place you can make your merch. It's a place you can sell your lumber. It's a place you can, see, there you go.
So it's not just limited to like a merch shop.
No, because the one that I've got, so when I pulled up, you see, I got a C name, so I got a custom domain as well, and I'm using that to serve as kind of one of the hubs online, one of the locations for people to go when I give them a URL or something of that. So to answer the question, just like John was saying, it is your online digital storefront. You can use it to sell memberships. You can use it to sell sponsorships. You can use it to sell your merchandise, your digital products. You can use it to connect with your community. So as you probably also saw, I have my YouTube channel connected. So every time I'm live, and even when I'm not live, I have a playlist of all my recent episodes and sessions that are directly on that site. But you can start embedding all of those assets, all of that collateral into that one location.
Wow. Yep. Oh, there's your.
And there we go, Jen. I just put my link in the comments right there. HicksNewMedia.com. Dude, let me put that promo code that I made, because who was it? Was that Jack? No, I mean, who was that? Was that Paul that said something about that? Hold on,
Craig.
Somebody was talking good, and I got excited, so I made a promo code. So I'm putting
it was Craig.
There it is.
Done.
Hey, John.
Hey.
I'm afraid to touch my screen for something to go wrong here. I just got a message from Vic. Vic said he's in. Can you see him?
Yes.
He is in, and we see him.
Okay,
Yes,
I'm afraid to touch my screen. If this cannon
backstage, just tell me he's in the backstage, Rick.
Okay.
He's chomping at the bit now,
huh? Jen's getting her store up right there.
Calls to action right there. There is the value right there. We got Craig some new merch.
Yeah.
Jen's over there sending logos out. My job is done here, folks. I just swoop in, go from the back of the room, and make folks do. I don't know what's going on.
You do know what's going on. That's why we got you in here, man.
I just pretend like I do. I just play an expert on the internet, but other than that, I'm just dad.
Appreciate your time. It's
pretty good job.
Been awesome.
Yeah, I mean, we don't need. I appreciate it too, because we don't need the level of expertise that, you know what I mean, you can offer. We're down here. We need this level. You know what I mean? And it's perfect that you're able. I just love that you're able to do that. You know what I mean? Where we can go watch you next time you go live, and I understand about 3% of what you're saying sometimes. You know what I mean? And consider myself lucky. But 3%, yeah, sometimes. But some of that's way beyond me, you know. But you can come in here and you can simple this down and just tell us, you know what I mean, what we need to do to get a YouTube channel going. And
I appreciate you on that, man, because again, this stuff it doesn't have to be hard, it doesn't have to be difficult, and it's gotten to a point now where you don't have to know kind of that nuance to code and create a website. You don't have to know a whole bunch about the back end of technology to have a digital property like you guys have. You're on YouTube, and you're probably streaming on Facebook. You're probably streaming on some other platforms as well. To do that today is pretty straightforward, and I see a lot. You know, folks would get out of their own way and not worrying about breaking it. You'll do okay. And we, the consumer, we, the community, actually want to see the flubs. We want to see when Craig's lights don't work. We want to see when the microphones. Right? We want the reality. No one really wants to see the fully 100% polished video or session. We want to see some real people. We want to see the ad libs. You see, I talk with my hands a lot. I call them the jazz hands, right? When I'm on stage in front of somewhere, I'm very emotive, because that just shows that I'm either very excited about it, I'm passionate about it, I'm really
enthusiasm,
engaged with the conversation as well, right? I mean, and folks want to see that piece. They want to see James talking to this crew and to this network and to this community about something, and talking to them instead of at them. So like John was saying, right, I'm not in here using a whole bunch of 3-letter acronyms, talking a whole bunch of stuff that no one cares about.
Thank you.
Right, let's make some merch. Let's make some cool tilted kilt.
Absolutely.
No, wait a minute. That's the wrong one. Hold on. That was the wrong
kilt
one.
soil.
Tilted kilt. That's what it is now. Tilted
yeah, that'd be awesome.
That was
There
wrong
you go,
one.
Craig. Tilted kilt.
Tilted kilt.
I'm gonna get you in trouble, man.
James, you got another question there. If you want to.
let's see.
Media
When
storage.
it comes to media storage, SSD or hard drive, okay, that could be an interesting religious debate too. Depends on what your goal is. So if it's short-term storage, DAS, direct attached storage works fine, right? Just having external hard drives, big external hard drives for your short and midterm, whatever that is for you. So yeah, short and midterm could be 6 months all the way up to a year. For your archival or your long-term storage, I use a NAS, a network attached storage. So I have a ton of terabytes worth of storage that I have connected directly to my network, whereas I can connect and I can access it from anywhere on the internet. So for nearline, real quick, if you're doing a lot of editing, you definitely want to have that on fast drive as well. So you want to have that on SSDs as opposed to spinning disks, because just editing off of SSDs is just keeps your mind sane as opposed to the wait time for spinning disks. So SSDs for any real-time processing, any editing, any video manipulation, things like that. Even any photo editing, just to maintain sanity, go SSD for any high-end editing that you're doing. For archival, you can go with the hard drives, in my opinion. And then again, for real long-term cold storage, either in one of the clouds or multiple clouds. So not just in your iCloud or not just in your Google Cloud, have it in both. And then maybe find another tertiary just in case something happens. And then for your, like I say, your short and mid, you can make the determinant depending on your needs. So either directory attached storage, which is spinning drives or SSDs local to you, or network attached storage, which is accessible to you anywhere on the internet.
That would not be me. Anywhere on the internet, I'd be in trouble.
Yeah. So I'm gonna keep his in the closet, underneath the floorboard, on a flash drive.
Yeah, that's where I'm keeping mine.
Yeah.
That way I can't get to it.
These are what we use as little SSD drives. Have a bunch of them. But
Yeah, I mean, what is that? Like a SanDisk or something? Like a Crucial, great company. Yeah, SanDisk, Crucial. God, why am I blanking on some of these other companies that? But a lot of the legacy companies that have been around for a while are make great products. You know, some of the up and comers, new ones, they just probably haven't been tried and tested. I would go with the ones that got some skin in the game and have been around a while. So yeah, the Crucials, the Western Digitals, those types of folks make some really good, especially the portable products as well. Maybe, and think about it, even the ruggedized ones as well for your guys' types of environments. So you'll definitely want to have something that's ruggedized. Should you drop it or should you step on it or whatever the case may be? You want to have that into your planning as well.
Gotcha.
Especially stuff that gets into the sawdust.
There you go. The ruggedized stuff. You want to make sure that that once in a lifetime piece of footage of you out there doing the thing isn't corrupt because you got some metal shards or you got some dust in it, or whatever the case, right? You want to make sure that it's retrievable.
Gotcha.
Computer does not do well with 4K when I have media stored on it, so I need to solve the issue. I like to make shorts out of old videos, so I hate to lose old content. So are you streaming in 4K? Are you capturing the content in 4K? That will be a question as well. And I will ask this. Why are you streaming in 4K? Why are you collecting that in 4K? Do you feel, and it's not a setup question, but it's really, why do you think you need to? If you do feel that you need to be streaming and collecting data in 4K, then that can and may take you down a whole nother conversation with me, right? In terms of make sure that your system in and of itself is robust enough, making sure that your internet is robust enough, your up and download speeds are robust enough, making sure again that you're using higher end, higher quality SSDs and flash drives and SD cards and things like that. If you can get by with 1080 Because you think about it, the majority of people probably watching right now are watching in 1080. Even if they're watching it on their 50-inch TV, they're probably watching in 1080. And on their phone, you think about it as well, 720 1080 is kind of that optimal, because that helps with latency, that helps with buffering, right? There's not a lot of that. So pre-recorded stuff for me, I do all that in 4K. A lot of the times when I'm live streaming, I dial it down to actually 2K. So every show that I shoot, I shoot in 14:4 as opposed to 4K, because I'm taking into consideration other folks' internet connection. So like when John was on my stream a couple of weeks ago, I think I had like 5 or 6 people on, coming in from all over the country, kind of similar to this right here, right? But all of that processing had to happen locally on my device, because I was recording all of the isolated video, all the isolated audio files, and then pushing it out to John. Where we go? I think we went everywhere. We were like on 10 platforms. So I handle all of that, but I've got fiber from an internet perspective coming into my house, and I've got a gig up and a gig down.
Right.
Yes, sir. Let that marinate right there. Just that piece right there. I think everyone understands that piece right there. That I got gig up and gig. So that, that infrastructure piece right there helps with that, and allows me to go 4K if I wanted to. But even though I typically go in just 2K.
Yeah, no, I think he's just recording for YouTube channel in 4K.
Okay.
Think so.
Actually, I've got the GoPros, and they can do that too.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
I don't even
GoPros
do
nice.
that anymore. I don't even do that anymore unless it's some kind of crazy shot, because DaVinci Resolve will just upscale it.
There you
You
go.
know what I mean? And
There you go. Yeah. And DaVinci Resolve is the great price of how much?
free.
It's free. DaVinci Resolve is the platform that's used from a motion picture perspective, and they give it away. DaVinci Resolve Studio is $250, and that one adds a whole bunch of all the extra functionality. But if you don't need that, it's free.
Right. Yep.
How much money to set up a NAS? Yeah, it depends on. Actually, that depends on the amount of capacity. A lot of times if you're putting in 2, 4, 6, or 8 drives into it, so it can range between $600 up to around, I don't know, a couple of $1,000, depending on, again, that configuration. At a minimum, you obviously want to go with 2 drives and a NAS and a network attached storage, so those drives can be mirrored. So, and a lot of times the chassis and the drives are separate. So something like a Ugreen or a Synology are 2 very common platforms. Like I mentioned, Western Digital as well. A lot of folks will see those at like a Best Buy or something like that. But if you get a 2-drive NAS, $600, I think.
What's the matter, Rick? Is it blowing your mind?
Yeah, Rick's head's exploding.
He's going like, that's too much information.
I'll talk slower. This is still coffee that I'm drinking. I haven't dipped into the scotch just yet. I haven't dipped into it yet. Or probably when I started talking about dollars and cents, he was like, wait a minute, I didn't know I was going to end up spending money out here. Yeah, we were just supposed to have a conversation. Next thing you know, James got me at Amazon and Best Buy spending money. Wait a minute. Something ain't right.
Isn't that what we signed up for?
Yeah, this was not in the show notes. This was not expected of today's discussion. Well, gentlemen, see, that's I'm here just to heckle from the back and throw you off guard.
No, I'm glad you're
all
here,
that. We had talked about that one.
I'm impressed. I'm glad you came in. You know what
Anytime.
I mean?
Oh, absolutely.
Anybody,
it's been
I learned a
fun.
lot.
So I love lives, and I love James's lives. I don't like his sports lives because I don't like sports, but I'm still in his sports lives because I like James. So, you know what I mean? So go over and check out his channel. When he's talking,
I don't know how to take that. You guys heard that, right? I don't know if that was a half-baked compliment
you
or
went
what.
too far. Stop.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
That's John.
I don't have to like.
That sounded like.
I don't have to like sports.
That sounded like she's uglier than hell, but.
You know what I'm saying? I was like, wait a minute. No,
When he's just trying to butter you up.
when I'm
You
talking
ain't got to
tech,
go home, but you got to get the hell out of here. You know, it's kind of one of those right there. But I tell you what, before I go, I want to say this, and John, I want to give you these flowers, man. So, folks, John's real. John's a real one because he's in my comments. He's on in both live and on the after show and everything as well, and asking me the hard questions about why I do certain things and keeping me honest about a few things as well. So I appreciate that. And that's the whole aspect of building the community and then responding back to the community. Because now look what has happened. John's been on my streams before. Now I'm here engaging with you guys, which is incredible. And I'm getting introduced to your communities as well. So having that engagement, having that interaction, having those conversations. And yes, John, I changed my prompt. I saw my prompt that I was using. I corrected that. So every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, when that script runs, we'll see if it's different. We'll see if it's different. But again, taking feedback and taking criticism as well is because it's not about me. The stuff that I do, it's about the community. It's about building those relationships. So if I hear something that matters and something that makes sense and something that's doable, I'll do it. So I wanted to give you those
criticism
flowers,
helps you
brother.
grow too, right?
There you go. Get the ego out of the way, man. Get the ego out of the way.
Absolutely.
James,
Absolutely.
if you want community, give that man right there your phone number. You'll get all the community you want.
John got it. He's got
other
it.
way.
No,
Other way.
Right.
Other way.
Oh, okay.
Craig. You guys don't even know how to point.
Oh, Craig too. Well,
Jesus.
Craig, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm talking about that one right there.
Right there.
Both
that
of 'em.
dude.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Uh-oh. Where'd he go?
That dude. Right there.
How's
Where'd
everybody?
James go?
Where'd James go? He's right there. He's right there.
Yeah, but you
That's who they're talking about.
Okay.
We're
Craig.
going to
Craig's
find a
talking
way.
about.
I'm going into business. Well,
All right.
John will be pushing buttons.
It looks
y'all.
like
Oh, Lord. I'm
Vic's
Sorry.
chomping
I'm-
at the
I'm
bit,
messing up
guys.
buttons.
Yeah, you are.
Vic is here. Vic is here.
I
ready
see.
to
I
go.
might see John's here too.
John's here
Chapman's
ready
here
to
as
go
well.
too.
Yeah,
And I'm
yeah.
sure
All right.
James has
Awesome.
probably had his fill. He's like, I'm getting away from these.
No, man.
Well, James, I
Amazing.
just want
love
to say
it.
we all appreciate you being on here, and you're welcome to come back
Very
anytime
much.
you want to.
Thank you very much. I appreciate you guys as
Yeah.
well. I'm loving the community. I see the questions and the commentary going back and forth, and then, good Lord, you five, man, this should be like on somebody's TV. What's happening here, folks? If you haven't seen even just like I said, the behind the scenes, what I saw, there's some good crabs right here. There's some good guys right here. So I
We
appreciate you guys.
nicknamed the
really.
Five
I
Stooges.
appreciate you. The Five Stooges.
Yeah, the Five Stooges.
All
It's
right,
nice.
James.
It's
Thank
nice
you, sir.
knowing guys
Thank
in the right areas, and you know what I mean. It's always about who you know. Nice to know a bunch of good guys. You know what I mean.
Yes,
Goes a long
definitely,
ways.
most definitely.
And Craig's getting a new logo too for his kilt. You know, Jen's already made one.
How about that?
And Jen's made you a logo, and James is showing you how to get it on the merch shop.
No
you're
excuse,
set.
man.
wow.
No
You're
excuses.
set. You're set, Craig. Thank you, James.
All right, you guys.
Thank
Be
you
well.
very much.
Appreciate you.
All right.
Okay,
See
Thank you,
buddy.
James.
All right.
Night.
Enjoyed your time.
Good night.
Thank you.
And James has left the building.
All right. So you're gonna bring Vic on?
We are going into what's the next segment? Vic, huh?
Veterans Tribute.
Let's try Vic.
Well,
Let's
Well, we
try
can
having
bring Vic and John in.
and John.
John can come in too. Yeah.
Vic is our salute to military veterans this month. And that is not Vic right there, so don't think that's Vic. This right here is Vic.
He's in.
He is right there.
There he
on
is.
the-
There he
Victor.
is.
My heart.
You
There's
cut
John.
out already, Vic.
I cut
That's
out.
Hey, John.
Hey. Hey, what? Oh, you said hey.
No, John Chapman is in.
John
Oh,
Chapman is
hey
in
guys,
also.
can you hear me?
Yeah.
I think so.
How you doing,
have
John?
Can't
John
see you,
Chapman
but I
in.
can hear you.
We can see him. We can see him.
He just
Well,
didn't
why
put
do
him
you
in
go-
yet.
We can see
You're
him.
better off not
There
seeing
he
me.
is.
He's right there. He is
There's
on the
John.
wall. John Chapman's up next.
Yeah.
After we get Vic's salute to military veterans, we're going to do John
Right.
Chapman. And Tim is going to try to show us what Vic is doing. So we want to introduce Vic first.
Yes, bring in Vic.
mean-
Vic,
You mean Rick?
go at it. Help yourself, Vic.
Hello,
You
Victor.
and Rick.
My heart's ready
Hello, Vic.
on the show.
Okay, so tonight we're doing a tribute to the American Legion, Post 57, Cobleskill, New York. They had a cannon they wanted to rebuild before Memorial Day, correct, Vic?
Yes, sir.
And they contacted Vic, and we're going to give you a little slideshow here of what they started with and what they ended up with, and Vic is going to commentate while we show you the pictures. Can you bring that up now, John?
Of course I can.
All right. There we go. I don't see Vic.
Oh, you want to talk to Vic too? All right. You want John to talk to John?
There he is. Okay,
That's
Vic,
how we're
you want
talking
to
to Vic.
explain this picture?
First picture I received, if you guys hopefully while you were talking to that other gentleman, I was trying to sign into my computer and see if I could hook into that, but I had but here I am. Let's move forward. That picture was the first picture from the gentleman. I believe the veteran from that Cobleskill VFW there. And he contacted me, book mark a simple ad up there for firewood.
I'm only
well,
hearing
yeah,
like
about-
every other word, guys.
Yeah,
Hey,
I got
Vic.
about every other word, Vic.
You're breaking up really bad. Are you on your phone or your computer?
He's
That's
on his phone.
right now.
He's on his
Can
phone.
you check and make sure you're on 5G? Just
Yes.
hold down.
Or Wi-Fi.
I'm on Wi-Fi.
All right, but hold down or tap on the Wi-Fi button, hold it down for a second, and see if you can get on 5G.
Let me see. I'm up. I'm hooked into the whole.
Nope. Can't hear you. No,
Your
you're muted.
audio is not coming through.
Is he close to the modem?
I'm 1 foot.
1 foot away.
Hey.
Yeah,
Do
you're
you
not gonna
do you
make it.
have cell phone service there, Vic, where you can get off the Wi-Fi maybe?
Yeah,
Or not?
I got all my bars and all everything.
Where's the microphone related to your mouth?
Right in front of him. It's on his phone.
That's on his phone.
I'm on
Well,
a-
I mean, like,
So
are you on
if you turn off
earbuds?
if
You
you
guys-
turn off your Wi-Fi and go on your cellular carrier, you got
Okay.
5 bars for that.
Oops,
He'll be back.
he'll be back.
I'm just trying to get him off the Wi-Fi. Maybe he's in Schenectady, right? He should have good cell service.
Yes. All right, so I can explain some of these pictures anyway. Like I said, this is the American Legion, Post 57. They contacted Vic, and they had this dilapidated cannon, and they wanted to restore it before Memorial Day. So Vic owns multiple companies, and this is one of his roll-off dumpsters, and he pretty much uses it for anything and everything. Now, there's a story behind this dumpster that's very interesting too. I'll explain that to you in a minute. But he had this big stump in there, and of course the stump had to come out. That's his roll-off truck with the chain hooked to the stump with the little arm that brings the roll-off body back up onto the truck. All right, Vic's back. Let's see if we can hear him.
We can't.
Okay, let's try. I'm trying everything else, guys.
Okay, so did you shut your Wi-Fi off and you're back on your phone?
Yeah.
Just your. All right. So I was just explaining to everybody this stump is one that you pulled out of the dumpster so that you could use the dumpster to bring the log up, correct?
Yeah, that particular stump, if you can hear me, that was just that's an oak stump, believe it or not. I don't know if it's a white oak or that's the low in.
Okay. So I'm going to move on to the next picture. And this is the locust log that you chose for the cannon, correct?
I don't know if that's the exact log, but the reason I sent you that was I kept picking through the piles and cutting down trees to find a very solid one that was super to the side of us. If you remember correctly, I think they oversized the log, so I was really trying to hone in on a really nice log for them.
Gotcha. All right. So let's see what we got here. All right. That looks like the log right there.
Yep, it's got that little crook in it. That probably is the log. This might be
Okay. And he's loading it back up into the dumpster here. And he put it up on his truck. And this is when Victor pulled up in front of Two Brothers Outdoors homestead. You can see we have just a little bit of snow here. And Vic must have had the heat really high in his truck because he's not wearing a coat.
Yep.
So I'm the first one to greet Vic. This is the first time we've met face to face.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to help you out. I'm going to help you out here, Vic. Okay. So this next one is he can't believe he actually touched one of the Two Brothers Outdoors.
You had to wash that hand since.
Oh
And
my
now,
gosh.
and now he's just
Oh, look. Can I
he's
give you
just-
a hug?
he's just praising us right now. Can't believe he's here. Is that correct, Vic? All right. So anyway, I told you this dumpster truck. This is probably one of the neatest trucks I've ever seen in my life because he can set this body on the ground or he can load it up on the truck and he can actually use it for a dump truck. And this is probably one of the most unique trucks I've ever seen. So he dumps this load of logs out. This one right here that I'm putting the cursor on is the locust. And then there was a maple. He brought us some cedar and a cherry log just to go along with the log that he brought,
Cherry.
which turned out to be some very nice logs once we got into them. This is the cedar, I'm sorry, this is the locust log. Okay, so in this picture, Tim and I are discussing how to attack the log. I have no idea what Vic's doing. It was a long drive. Maybe he's, I don't know, stretching his legs, I guess.
Maybe he's doing the pee-pee dance.
All right, so we're still discussing about this log. Now, Vic is a great guy. I can tell you right now because we had a lot of fun doing this log, and we goofed around a lot. So we get into sawing it, and this is locust, and it is absolutely dry. How long do you think this has been down, Vic?
A solid year or more. A solid year or more. Hear me?
I would say probably more, but the good old Hud-son Sawmill, it eat right through it, no problem.
Yep.
And
No
I'm
dust
thinking this-
whatsoever.
Yeah, no dust whatsoever. I'm thinking this picture right here, Vic wasn't expecting that to be as heavy as it was. But he got a handle on it eventually. He's a good strong man. So we started cutting these slabs. I don't remember, are they 4 inches thick, Vic?
I believe there were, yes. Yeah.
All right.
4.
We cut these at 4-inch thick slabs. This is what the American Legion needed for the cannon. And of course, after we get done slabbing this up, we stacked everything up, and we just had to sit here and kind of relax and shoot the breeze a little bit. And we really had a good time. We had a good time sawing this log up, and Tim and I were glad we could help with this project.
Yeah, it was fun.
It was an honor.
So
yep.
We ended up taking these slabs, and like I said, the truck that Vic used, he can drop the body right on the ground. So we were able to load these up on the log arch, and I was able to back the arch up right into the back of that bed and drop these off. No lifting required. Now this is those same boards you just saw. They're working them and getting them into the shape for the cannon base. Really nice job. This is some of the cross beams.
Yeah.
And this is the paint shop. This is all the metal parts off the cannon. They sandblasted them, Nick.
Yeah.
They sandblasted them and painted them.
Got the board treatment for sure.
Is
Yep,
that powder
there's some
coat
more.
or is it just regular black paint?
They're automotive, primer, right? All the steps, blasted.
Gotcha.
And
Okay.
cleared.
So that's all the hardware. There's the cannon barrel. They did a nice job on that cannon barrel.
That's beautiful.
There's the cannon put together.
Oh, wow.
Isn't that something?
Gorgeous.
That is not what I was
And
expecting.
This is what they're taking. They're taking it to the park right now, right? The park that it sits in.
Yes.
What
Or was
caliber is it?
Did get the caliber. I apologize. I should have all this information.
I looked it up. I think it's a 6-pounder. Is that what we came up with, Tim?
Yeah, 6 pound.
It's
So a
it's
good
an
sized ball.
18. It's an 1841 6-pounder.
Yep.
There's
It
the
would not
gentleman
be
working on it now. Now, if you can see my cursor right here over this gentleman, he looks like he needs a Confederate cap. I can't help it, but he just looks like he needs a Confederate cap on top of his head.
Could be Craig's
And
brother.
and there's the finished product sitting in the park where it belongs. And there's a tribute to all the veterans. Very nice project. Did a great job.
Guys,
We were very
make a phone
we were
call.
very
to-
glad to be part of it. Go ahead, try
Are
it
the
again.
wheels be-
I did make a phone. The original guy that contacted me, and he was blessing us, and they couldn't have been any happier. Blessed that it was. Talk to.
Well, I'm glad you could help him out, Vic, and I'm glad you contacted us and we can help him out because that is a beautiful cannon right there. It really came out nice.
Yeah, absolutely beautiful. And I was telling the guy, the kid my age, he's probably about my age. I go, are you guys lock that thing down? You don't want it to walk away.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be sad if that happened.
Yeah, they changed. It's that
good.
pretty.
I'm going to go back just a little bit here. I have to clarify one thing.
Sure.
What town is that in? What park?
Cobleskill.
Cobleskill, New York. This picture right here, Vic was showing me that he cut his beard off.
Yeah.
He says, I'm without my beard. And he didn't expect it to be as cold as it was here.
And then the next picture, he wanted to hug Rick.
Yeah, the next picture he wanted to hug me.
Oh, give me a nice big hug.
So
Bring it in. Give me some love, brother.
We had a lot of fun with Vic, and he's welcome to come up anytime he wants.
Oh, absolutely.
Thanks, guys.
the other question,
Quality.
what's the wheels made out of?
That's what I was
What are the
wondering too.
Don't know, but I can get all this information from these guys.
Yeah,
They're absolutely.
Yeah, we were talking about that earlier, and I don't think that. I think those are pine or something. I don't think they're black
They
locust. Somebody's
probably gotta be
carving
oak.
on.
I'll bet
Oh,
they're
I
oak.
don't-
Yeah, I was going
I
to
think
say
somebody-
probably oak.
Yeah.
White oak,
They
maybe.
look. They.
I
Looks
don't know.
like ash.
Yeah.
Oh, that could
I
be
don't
ash.
know, but whoever did it did a very nice job. Those are some really, really good craftsmen right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to know
So-
what those are made of.
So, Paul, can you bend ash like that too, like they do oak with
Or
steam?
it. Yeah. Yep.
Wonder what the green is. Is that tape?
Just
That's
tape.
tape.
Okay,
So when they painted the metal on the wheels without getting none on
black.
the wood.
Okay, I got you.
That thing's really pretty. I wish they have it indoors. That's why they went with the black locust for rot resistant. And it was
That's
probably
good.
Makes sense.
years.
It really, really came out nice. I couldn't be more proud to be part of that.
Well, Vic, that'll probably outlast all of us.
Yes, sir. That.
All right, guys.
Well, that black locust will outlast all of us for sure.
That
Mhm.
you guys can hear. To find that log in my pile of logs, did say so. That was the tightest grain black locust we've dealt with in a long time. My tree, they're overgrown. I dated it back, and they were tight. I don't know.
Anybody hearing him?
I almost feel like it's the Morse code.
Yeah, he's cutting out bad. You're cutting out bad, Vic. We just can't understand you.
Poor guy.
I hate when this happens. I really do.
I do too.
It's okay. We'll do better than that.
But it came out really nice, Vic, and I'm glad you included us in it. This is a project we were very proud of.
That's all.
All right, John, you can drop
Actually-
that picture. There you go.
I do, but every time we drop pictures now, we're gonna have to add Vic and John Chapman back in.
Okay,
Rick,
Rick,
we're
we
done.
should actually
'Cause I
go
haven't-
visit that cannon sometime.
We probably should. All right,
There's
so
Johnny.
let's go ahead and introduce John. He's been sitting patiently.
John
Put
has
him
been
back up
sitting
there.
patiently. How about that's James? How about John? There we go.
All right.
Hello,
When
everybody.
he says subscribe now, people listen. With a voice built for blue collar greatness and a brain wired for conversion,
Yeah.
he's John Call to Action Chapman. How you doing, John? Welcome to the show.
Welcome to the
Well,
show,
thank
John.
you, guys.
Now,
Yes.
I just got to get one thing straight real quick because my wife asked, "Who's your guests?" And I told her, and of course, she has to look up our guests. You were Person of the Year.
2006 Time Magazine Person of the Year.
She goes,
can
"You know
Google
somebody."
it.
He was.
She goes, "You know somebody famous?"
2006. 2006. The person of the year was you or us. It was everybody.
Okay.
No, it wasn't us. It wasn't me. I wasn't a creator in 2006. I
Well,
wasn't a creator. I wasn't a creator.
if you pull up the 2006 like a Time Person of the Year, it's you. So they made everybody the Times Person of the Year.
I thought it was creators. I thought it was content creators.
Well,
No?
I'm going on sketchy information, maybe.
I'm Googling it. I'm Googling it.
We'll just go with John Chapman Man of the Year. There you go.
There you go.
2006. Just
That works.
accept
Man
it.
of the Year.
There you go.
Oh,
Thank
it
you,
is.
thank
It's
you.
you.
Take a bow, John.
You. Dang. The one-time Person of the Year. You. I thought it was
You.
creators. I thought it was content creators, wasn't it? You're up, John. Take it away. Tell us about yourself.
Well, I'm an old IT guy, I guess, with blue collar roots, and I love technology. And I'm kind of more of a nuts and bolts kind of IT guy. I'm not really a I'm not like James. James is a good guy to have on your side with all the information and perspectives he has. I'm really more about nuts and bolts of how the internet works and computers and technology, building websites. Very applicable, hands-on type situation there. So I did go ahead and prepare just like a little bit of information. I really didn't know what to say on this. I'm not really sure what you need to know.
That's all right. We'll be good. James wasn't sure what we needed to know either, but we talked about everything with him. I'm sure I am sure we'll find something to talk about with you.
Absolutely.
Well,
go ahead. Is he on here? Oh, I didn't add him. Oh, I took you off.
There you go.
Damn it.
John,
Sorry.
we're going to take your keyboard away from you.
I told him to go ahead, and then I took him offline. That wasn't very nice of me, was it, John? I'm trying.
Okay, John. Get
I'm
John
gonna
back
go
up.
ahead and repeat myself. I'm just teasing you.
Well, I think the first time I conversed with you, John, you were tearing down old barns and selling the lumber.
That is how sawmills to lumber. I'm sorry. Sawmills and lumber. It's my site. I should know it. That's how sawmills and lumber got started because I was making that as a sister project that would go along with the barn projects. And that relationship kind of failed, but I went ahead and kept sawmills and lumber and kept working on that. So yeah, that's interesting. But to be honest, I don't remember talking to you.
Yeah.
So don't take that personally.
That's all right.
But I'm not really sure what you heard about my intro, but I did prepare a little bit of something here to basically go through. It's not long, and then if you have any questions, we can follow up. Feel free to ask me anything. Stuff I know, stuff I don't.
Absolutely.
And so throughout everything I say here, consider it in the context of what are your goals, because everybody's goals are different. And so something that you may think, I need to do that. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. So, and I was thinking of that in the context of you may not want to be any busier, but you may want, say, higher end customers. So you make a little bit more money for whatever you're doing. I don't know. So I think there's two important things. The first thing is you need a website and you also need a Google business page. And the Google business page is if you actually have a fixed location, you get on the Google business page and people are going to actually find you if they're looking for a sawmill. And that needs to be filled out completely, not just like, okay, I got my name up and a little bit of information. It needs to be a fully rounded out full Google page in order for Google to promote you. But what you want to be is so that if somebody's looking for a mill, they go to the maps, they pull up, they're looking for a sawmill, and then you show up in that listing.
What was the first
website.
One? What was the first one? Website. That was what you said first one was?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And then we come to the website. Now, these are all my opinions. And the first thing is you need your own domain name, whatever matches, but you don't want to use like mysite.weebly.com. You want it to be yoursite.com. You could host it on Weebly as an example, but you really want it to be your domain that you can take anywhere and that doesn't lock you into now they have control of your name, because if it is something like mysite.weebly.com, you're trapped there forever, or the migration process to move to your own domain or move to somewhere else is going to be very problematic because all the links, nobody knows where that new address is, and they have to learn that all over again. You you might consider using an email associated with your domain. So it would be like, for me, say John C at sawmillsandlumber.com or whatever it might be. Gmail's okay, and it works, and Gmail is very commonly used. But there's just a level of having your own email address with your own domain that is something worth considering. And it's not difficult to set up and configure, but it is something that I do recommend.
Good idea.
All right. I'm sorry?
Good idea.
Start with a basic website. It doesn't matter where it is. Wix, Squarespace, Weebly, Duda, WordPress.com, GoDaddy Website Builder, whatever. I do still recommend your own domain name. But the thing is, just have a website, even if it's just something basic to begin with. You got your business name, you got a little bit about yourself. It's a one-page website. You've got a link to your YouTube or Facebook. It's just, you want to make sure that that's your kind of your central point where people can come there. Later, you can add things like a newsletter or various things, but that's really a good spot for it to be yours that you own, regardless of what other platforms you're on. There's a full range of information you need to have on your website about, contact, what you do, what you don't do, pictures and video of work, a link to a YouTube channel if you have one, pricing, wood specialties, whether you're traveling or whether you're on site or you do both, kind of break that down, show and explain the different types of work that you do. Do you have a kiln? Do you have other services? Really, you're wanting to build a good picture so that when somebody comes there, they can actually get a really good idea of what you do. It's all cool to build the YouTube channel. Dude, that is some good stuff. Having a good YouTube channel, you're going to build your name recognition. But you also need real paying customers that's going to be allowing you to utilize your sawmill. Unless, of course, you're just making money off your YouTube channel. Totally a different situation, right? So if you're actually trying to make a living and run the channel, you need good customers.
I don't think
Amen.
anybody's making a living off of YouTube in here.
Well, I think Paul might be, but that's a different story. I say that, Paul, we've never talked. I have no idea really who you are.
That's fine.
Let's see here. Pics. You want to make information that users will feel connected to you. Oh, also, too, James earlier, when he was talking about how audio being the most important, I agree with that. But also the raw, real feel, not too polished. You're doing this, you're doing that, you drop something. Man, we all love that. When we're watching it, we know that is a real person. They don't take themselves too seriously. We enjoy watching it. I'm just telling you from a perspective of me watching you guys do your stuff, right? And if it's just like over polished, it's like it just it just doesn't have the same appeal.
We're still
Too much
waiting for John
makeup.
to get
Too
the
much
nerve up
makeup.
to do
Too much makeup.
spandex.
Wow.
I heard something about spandex. That got my attention.
I said we're waiting for John to get the nerve up to wear spandex.
Too polished.
I know you're talking about that John, not this John.
No. John Davidson, the love machine.
He does have that reputation.
I know.
So your site doesn't have to be fancy. It does need to load quickly. If it's one of those sites where like it's loading and it's finally starting to come in, man, people are going to bounce. We all are that way. So you have to think about what people are going to put up with. Make sure you're listed in relevant directories. Obviously, you can get a free listing on Sawmills and Lumber, which Google will index. There's the manufacturers, like if you've got a Hud-son or a Wood-Mizer or whatever it might be, the manufacturer will give you, what I've seen anyway, is you can get a listing for yourself on those. On the Google My Business, you need to have the hours you're open. You need to have a phone number. If you don't actually have a real location, you're not going to be recommended quite as much. But if you have the city and you're doing the Sawmill, and people are looking for a sawmill, you can get recommended, but the competition's not real stringent. It's not like you're a plumber and you're trying to compete with 1,500 plumbers. There's just
Right.
not that proportion of sawyers. You need to update your Google page on a regular basis with new pictures and things like this. Oh, okay. Yeah. You need to have your phone number on there, but it does not have to be your cell phone. You can get easily a Google Voice number, and that Google Voice number can then forward calls to your cell phone. So you can give out a number that is not your cell phone. You can turn off the forwarding anytime you want to. It will send you, if somebody leaves a message, you can get a transcription in your email plus an audio clip sent to your phone so you can listen to it if you're not able to answer the phone at that time. And it's free from Google. So that's something to consider if you're not wanting to use your personal cell phone. I have several Google Voice numbers, and they don't even go to my cell phone. But I'll get an email that somebody called me, and I can go ahead and just call them back if I want, or I can use a Google Voice number to call back. YouTube is... And if you have any further questions,
yeah, so you can use Google Call. They can call you through that, and you can call them back, and your number won't show up, but it goes through Google Call.
you have to you can check the setting to use that Google Voice number to call back and not your cell phone.
Great.
So you can do it either way.
I didn't know that.
So if you do it that way, you call them back and they see the number that you're calling from. Well, whichever way you choose it.
Gotcha. That's interesting. I have to look into that.
Yeah, Craig, you're going to be getting his new Google number.
So YouTube's growing. YouTube has search, and people like to follow, watch creators they feel connected to, look at examples of who we got here tonight. I mean, you guys are creating a following, and the thing is, none of you grew up with this technology. I didn't grow up with this technology. So anybody that feels like, oh, I can't do it, hey, we all can. You just got to do it. You're not going to break anything, but you guys are doing great. But there's people younger than you that are using the excuse, I didn't grow up with it, and they're not so conversant with it. But you guys are kicking ass. So, that's pretty cool.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. My last couple of paragraphs here. Customers don't want to struggle to find information. This includes pricing. You may not have specifics, but you can kind of have ranges. So when people know what to expect, this is a lot of that information comes from They Ask You Answer. And that's a book that was talking about answering every question that a customer may have, which could be 10,000 questions. But on your website, the more information you have, your customers are going to vet themselves either in or out. So they may see something like, oh no, I don't want him. Well, if that customer doesn't call you because they've already self-selected out, that's less waste on your time. But if you are answering questions and they've read, then they contact you, they're more in. It's not a cold call at that point in time where they're trying to find out information. They've already got a pretty good idea of what you do and what you charge and what you can, how you can help them with what they're looking for. And the more time you can spend on people that are a better match, well, there's just less wasted time. And on your site, you can explain, you can explain pitfalls like, here's what happens and here's how we handle it. Like if there's metal in your logs, here's how we break all that down. So there's a difference too when people read it on a website and they've got that information and they already know it. It's different than hearing it from you in person, where that's almost like a shock. They can read it and they can process it. And if they're cool with that and they call you, you don't have to fight that battle of telling them there's an upcharge for this and an upcharge for that. They already know. Anyway, that concludes my presentation.
Very fun.
That was
Very good.
interesting.
I knew you'd have something to contribute at some point, buddy.
So I got about 100 questions.
I've got
Okay.
99 answers.
So, how much you gonna charge me to do a website?
Not much.
All right, done. So do you do any code? Do you write any code? Do you use anything to write any code? Do you
In what context?
an app, a web page?
Well,
the-
typically, and I consider myself expert level with WordPress, and I'll sometimes modify like PHP, which is the programming language that WordPress is written in, and I've done some other things with PHP. I'm not a quote programmer, but I can code and I can modify things, and I've written a few little things, but I'm not going to just turn around and write a big thing. I can modify web pages. I've started out writing web pages in Notepad before there was any. I mean, we're talking a long time ago.
right.
So when you say about the code, what is it you're thinking, so that I'm trying to understand where you're going on that question?
Are you making any apps? Are you using AI to make any apps?
I'm not yet. Vibe coding is a real thing. And vibe coding means you describe what you'd like the AI to do, and it will do it. Now, I have used AI to ask some questions, and I've told it to do some things, and watching it generate that content, you can watch it as it creates this. This is freaking amazing what AI can do. And it's not really AI, but we call it AI. So I'm starting to dig into it, because I was like, well, hang on a second, let me try this. And now, even finding information, I was looking for some information the other day, and I was Googling and searching and putting in my keywords. I said, you know what? Hang on. I went to Grok. Grok is X's AI, Twitter. And I asked the question. It freaking gave me exactly what I was looking for. I mean, to the nth degree. It heard my verbalization, and it didn't direct me to web pages that may have the answer. It consolidated all these different places and gave me the information I was looking for.
Yeah.
It's pretty amazing.
That is amazing.
Yeah, I've started messing with it. You know what I mean? Just on the YouTube channel or something like that. But I was wondering how deep you were in on that.
Okay, and the other day I did a test. This was phenomenal. I couldn't believe it. It sounds simple, but it's pretty amazing. So I work as a production manager for a roofing company on a day-to-day. And so I told AI, I gave it a picture, and I said, show this house with a particular Owens Corning shingle. That's all I did. It generated for a couple minutes. It came back, and it had that color of shingle on all the slopes of the house. Then I said, okay, let's just do a different color I picked out. Came back. It is fantastic what it can do. And so I've been thinking about how that could actually be used, like with logs. I mean, it's technically possible that you could actually have, say, a customer you could have on your website, where a customer could upload a picture, and it could spit back to them and tell them how many board feet it is and how it would be recommended to be cut, that kind of thing.
Yeah, or how many 2x4s I can get out of this log, or how many live
Exactly.
edge slabs,
And
or whatever.
And you don't have to do that. You don't have to do that. It could do it for you. Now, this is I don't know of a particular. Tell me how many 2x4s are in a log app right now, but AI is so easy to connect, and I'm looking at how I can do some of that. It is just, I'll tell you what, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Some of this stuff is crazy, but I like it.
Yeah, that's what I.
It's over my head.
Who said that?
But
I did. Rick's the tech wizard. I just nod.
But
Rick's the
you know
tech
what?
wizard. He always tells us Tim's the tech
Very.
wizard.
No, that is not the truth.
It's not, you
The
can't
lie
know
detector
everything.
test determined that was a lie.
So what
We all
on
have
here?
areas and things that we're skilled in and things that aren't even obvious to what we're doing here. I mean, we all have a backstory, a back life, and things that we know how to do. And I mean, and I'm pointing at you, nobody in particular, could be a professional underwater welder. You never know what somebody's skills might have. And they tied in, and now here we are today with what we're doing now, but we are just the iceberg of what we see here, each one of us, what we know how to do, where we've been, and that type of thing.
Absolutely.
Agreed.
So I got a question, John. So domain names, are they still sold and whatever between people or not?
They are. And just to clarify, a domain name is rented. You never actually own it, because if you don't pay that yearly fee, they're going to take it back away from you.
Gotcha.
And so domains, you can still go to anywhere of your preference. I myself use a place called Joker. It's a German company, but you can go to GoDaddy. You can go to all the places that will host your website. You typically can get a domain there as well. I mean, you're gonna, as long as it's less than $20 a year for the domain itself, that does not include hosting or anything like this. That's probably a reasonable price. There's some custom domains out there that are $100 and $200 a year. I don't see that you need it. .com is ubiquitous still. .co a little bit. You don't want to use a .net or .gov. Obviously, well, you can't do a .gov anyway.
Yeah.
But
Only
but there's a .info. Those are sometimes being accepted. But when anybody hears a domain and they're going to go to a website, we're thinking .com. And
Right.
if there's a KiltonSawyer.com and a KiltonSawyer.info, which one are you going to pick?
.com.
.com probably.
Every time, yes. So Tim, yeah, you can certainly get domain names. You can just go register wherever you like. And I will tell this: if any of you have questions, anybody that's listening to this stream, if you go to sawmillsandlumber.com, my email address is at the top. Feel free to email me, reference this video. I'll help you at no charge. Not a big project, but I'll answer your questions.
Gotcha.
Very good. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
because I remember years ago when Yahoo first started, they were offering free web pages, and they were atrocious to try and set up.
The
And it's like
technology of that whole.
one page with no info.
Yeah.
That was it.
The technology has marched on where it's so easy to set up web pages now. It is really easy. And even if you're a little uncomfortable and unsure about some of the steps, once you get there, the updating and the day-to-day process, it's not difficult.
Well, right
I don't
now
know,
I
Kelly.
had
Go
a
ahead,
domain. I had a domain name and a website years ago, and my host went belly up. He was supposed to put the domain name in my name instead of his host name, and he ended up selling it. And now I go to that name, search it to see if I could use it. They want $2,000 for that name.
Mm-hmm.
So
Unfortunately, go ahead.
I'm almost afraid to search our name now to see if we can use it for a domain name, in fear that during the search somebody will pick it up and want to sell it to us. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I hear you. I'm not too worried. I don't think that's a concern. And would you still be wanting to go with the Two Brothers Outdoors?
Yeah. That wasn't our domain name years ago.
No,
It was something
yeah,
else.
it's something different.
That domain name was gone.
Well, twobrothers.outdoors.com is available.
Nice.
Sorry, Rick, I just bought it.
So
Thank you, Paul.
It's for sale cheap.
somebody else online watching bought it.
Thank you, Paul. Paul, put it right down there in the thing. I bought that, and
So-
we can't even use it. Thanks, Paul. Oh, now you're gonna say you want to rent it from me?
Yeah, for a fee.
Yeah.
Every month.
We giggle, but that actually happens.
Oh,
I
yeah.
I
figured.
know it does.
Yeah,
So
we giggle,
Rick-
but that stuff actually takes place.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does.
if you stop sharing, Rick, if you stop presenting and then close that other program, you'll be a lot faster.
I closed it.
It's
I
still
think.
presented on the stage.
Still, yeah.
I'm just saying. There it goes.
There you go.
Just trying
Perfect.
to speed you up a little bit.
I thought I closed it down already.
Well, I'm just curious. What's the clicking noise? Who's got that going on in the background?
That's probably my ceiling fan.
Okay. It
Deal
sounds
with
like
it.
an old dot matrix printer. Click, 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 click.
I got that typewriter.
Is that yours?
Can you hear that?
No, I can't hear anything.
That's cool.
We just lost our guest.
Yeah, you
He's-
got
I was
bored.
checking to make sure I was making sure it's not my AC unit that's making the noise.
No, it was here before you came in, John.
Oh, okay, well, I'll turn it back on then.
It's like a click, 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 and then it goes click, click, click again. It's not John.
Whenever I get up and get away from the camera, they accuse me of wandering.
It's probably your ceiling fan.
But you always come back.
I always come back. So how much is it cost to set up a website, John? Is it expensive?
Well, let's just say, for instance, you use like the GoDaddy. You went to GoDaddy, you registered a domain, and you're using their website service. I mean, I don't know, $10 a month. And, they've got a little website builder that'll walk you through that, and you can build your own website. And they've got a little builder that takes you through it. Going with something simple like that is where I would start. But if you
Okay.
have your own domain name, you can actually build. Let's just say you start getting recognition. People know to go to your site, and you're on GoDaddy, but you decide, I want to do something a little different. But you've got that domain name. You could have another site built that's ready. And then what happens is then you just change to where it's pointed to, and now you can be pointing to that new location, and it doesn't miss a beat. So it keeps you from being locked in. But I say start with something really simple. Don't go blowing the bank on getting some big website. Start because you don't even know what you want yet. Well,
No.
unless you already have a website, you
Correct,
can be
yeah.
working on it. So you get your feet wet, you start building the site, like, oh, okay, I see. Okay, I see. It's just like if you're gonna build a race car and you don't even have a car, well, you don't even know what to get. So
582. Oh my goodness.
for
For a website, Vic?
582 for the domain name.
Holy cow.
And he also wants to know how
Maybe
many
help.
people visited. How does he tell how many people visited his website?
Well,
There's
there's
something for that, right?
What's your website, Vic?
All right, Vic, start typing.
is this the same guy we couldn't hear?
Yes.
Yeah.
And now he can't type.
No, you can't type.
So on the question of like tracking how many visitors you have, you can put Google Analytics on your website and Google will track that for you. And you can have a graph and you can see how many visitors you have daily, hourly, for a weekly, month. Another thing, it's also free.
So
Oh, there's
so
still
does
HTML.
So does Google go hand in hand with the website?
The Google Analytics, well, there's multiple components because you want your site to be indexed by Google because,
Right.
hey, they're the big cheese.
Yep.
You want the Google Analytics so that you can actually see your traffic. They also have the webmaster tools that so you can like quickly, if you add a new page, you can submit it so that Google will index it really quickly, and rather than just waiting for them someday. You can also de-index pages. There's just a lot of stuff that Google offers, but you don't even have to work with Google at all to have a valid website. But you still want people to search for you and be able to find you or to be recommended. And then when it comes to the Google Maps piece, I really think Google Maps is important, especially if you have customers that are coming to your mill and bringing things. And I don't know if do you go out as well, or do you just have people bring stuff to you?
No, we're not.
No, yeah, we're fixed.
Okay.
We're not.
But
so-
we use
I'm
the
going out.
Facebook Marketplace, and we get all that, and then of course we hand out our business cards, and it's word of mouth is really what we've built on. But,
Sure.
I don't know how much of a website would help us with that, because we really don't want to go full blown business because we're like retirement gig. You know what I mean?
Well, that refers to my earlier. It all depends on your goals.
Right. So I don't know. Rick,
Well,
something that you think you're interested in?
I think that maybe you also take a moment and just get your Google business page filled out, so that if people in the area search for a sawmill, you'll come up on the map,
Okay.
and that's free.
How do you go about doing that?
Go to Google.
Google business page.
Yeah.
Search it.
You're just logged in. Go ahead. Go ahead.
If I wanted comments from the peanut gallery, I would have said John Davidson.
Chapman.
You
or
did say
Paul.
that.
It doesn't matter.
Dang it.
I'm talking
Dang
to
it.
I'm talking to our guest right now. You guys should be
Dang.
polite and have some manners.
We do have manners. We were just trying to cut you off. That's all.
Well, your guest should probably have manners too, but I don't know about all that.
That's all right.
But yeah, you can just Google, how do I set up a Google business page, for instance. But anyway, just go to Google's set up my business page, and it'll take you there if you're logged into Google at the time, which you probably are with your Google account. And it'll just take you there, and boom, and you can just set it up. And it just asks you questions, but just make sure you fill out everything.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Good, thoughtful description, pictures. Think about what a person would be looking for, and you answer that.
Well, it's kind of curious because we have an artesian well down the road from us. It doesn't make money. It's just there. It's a privately owned well. But you go to Google Maps and it shows up on the map as artesian well. And I thought, geez, how in the heck does that happen? Now I know.
It could also have been sourced because Google does. They also have the like the street view. The little Google cars driving around taking pictures and things.
Yep.
And so they could probably source a lot of information from records, because you can see like train tracks and creeks and all kinds of things on there. And so somebody may have added that artesian well, but that just may be data that they've scoured from some source, and they just put it in the map.
Gotcha.
Because Google wants their sources, their webpage results, everything to be what helps the end user the most.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to check that out. That's very
So, John, it's like set up your Google business profile. Is that what that is?
Correct.
I'm searching it now. I was just taking a look. That's all.
All right, Paul, what can we do for you? We got Greg
Business profile.
with some merchandise. We got these two on the website. What do you need, Paul? Hooking it up.
We're running out of guests,
we need a
Paul.
logo and a website.
See?
What's that?
Say that again.
Yeah, you definitely need a logo,
No,
Paul.
we're not really looking. Oh yeah, definitely. That's where we need to start, I think. And if I thought about it before doing the YouTube channel, if I would have had a shorter name than Southern Adirondack Outdoors, it's hard to fit. business card or in a logo.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can see
Well,
that.
you're like us, two brothers outdoors. It's pretty long, but oh well.
Yeah.
Well,
It
the
would
shortest
help.
one here is Kelton Sawyer.
Yeah.
Yeah, mine's long. Mine's huge long.
Yeah, yours is like 6 sentences.
Right. And that's okay with me. I'm all right with that. They came
Okay.
out with you guys got the YouTube handles? Did you do that?
Yeah.
What'd you do? Two Brothers Outdoors?
What'd I do? Two
Yeah.
brothers outdoors.
See? Why'd you do that?
Because we can.
2BO. Two BO. Two people with BO. You could have done that.
We tried
But-
the
Okay,
2BO. We tried the 2BO. Nobody wanted to mess. Nobody recognized it.
Someone Googled that and it came up with John Davidson's all natural gym.
So I went with Dang. Davidson's all natural gym. Dang.
Yeah.
Right?
And then we changed it
You know,
to
I mean, there's got to
Dang.
be something.
We changed it to Dang Enforcer.
Dang
Yeah.
Enforcer.
I saw that cool looking
Got it.
picture. That's pretty cool.
So if y'all have any questions anymore, just ask me.
What else we got? What I got?
Well, I want to get that. That's interesting with that Google profile. I want to get that set up so it's got like free, easy, and business on it. Looks like, but I think we'll go ahead and set that up. So when you do that, we set it up as Two Brothers Outdoors, or as our names.
That's our Google account. Two
You're-
Brothers Outdoors.
Well, that's okay. When you set up your business profile, it's kind of like because you can have multiple business profiles, right? Because you could have two
Gotcha.
businesses.
Gotcha.
And so it's going to create a profile for your business and you're going to give it its name. It's almost like creating a new entity, but you're the logged in account that controls that particular profile that's created, the business listing. But think of it as a business listing. So
Okay.
you're creating a business listing for Two Brothers Outdoors, and you can call it whatever you want. You put in that information, but it's not directly tied to your Google username.
That's what I was
So
asking.
for instance,
Yeah.
right. Because like I have like one of my Gmail accounts is jcchapster@gmail.com. But then I could turn around and I could create a business profile if I have a business that I wanted to use. And it could be, Tom's Plumbing, if that's what my business name was.
Right.
And you may have to do some validation because sometimes they're going to want to see pictures of your place of business that you have set up. So you may have to send them a video, some different things, because they're trying to defeat and make sure that people aren't creating fake business places.
Gotcha.
Sometimes they may send you a postcard in the mail, and I'm not sure if they do that anymore, but they used to send a postcard in the mail that you'd actually have to fill out and send back because they would verify your address.
Gotcha.
But I think they're doing and I think they're even doing live videos now. Well, you'll actually pick up your phone and you're showing it live because people are clever.
Oh yeah.
We
So
got
I don't want
funny stuff.
plenty of video.
I don't want to sound
Sorry.
stupid, but like when you set up like a website, do you also assign it a email address or no?
Well, you can set up a website with a domain without setting up the email portion of it.
Okay.
You could also get a domain name and set up email without a web page, because once you have that domain, an email is just a service that you attach to it, or a
Right.
website's attached to it, and a whole bunch of other services that could be attached to it, right? So if you go to like GoDaddy, it very well may come with email as well, but GoDaddy will be doing the hosting of your email. If you change from GoDaddy to somewhere else, that's going to be more tricky as far as migrating and making sure that your email is pointed correctly and that everything keeps working smoothly.
Okay. But if we go through like GoDaddy for a domain, they have that domain, or we rent it from them,
You put your information in there as the owner,
Yep.
and then you would pay them yearly for that domain name.
Gotcha. Okay.
But there's also going to be a monthly fee to have the website. So let's just say, and sometimes they include the first year free, but let's just say that having the domain name is $20 a year. Then GoDaddy may charge you, I don't know, $8.95 or $10 or something like that a month to actually have that website up and operational, where they're hosting the website so that you've got content there that people can come see. Because having the domain registered simply means that we've taken that domain name, we've registered it, and you've got control of it. But that doesn't mean there's any services attached to it.
Right.
If you'd like to have a website that gets pointed for that domain name, you could do that, but there's another fee for that monthly.
Okay. So you suggest using GoDaddy to start with?
Not necessarily, because
What was the one you mentioned before, John, that you liked?
I mentioned some, but I never said I liked any of them specifically.
The one you said you opened up and used, or you just started one?
I said that you could do that.
Oh, okay, gotcha. My bad.
And let me go ahead. Where'd my Google Keep go? I close my Keep window.
Craig, I think you got a draft up in your kilt. Yeah, you didn't answer. You wanted to say something, but you didn't.
I had to bite my tongue.
Okay, so what I listed was
Paul, look at private chat.
Wix, Squarespace, Weebly, Duda, WordPress.com, GoDaddy. There's more out there, but for instance, let's just take Wix, for instance. It's not necessarily they've come a long way, but you can create a pretty snappy looking website with Wix pretty quick. And they've got themes, they've got all kinds of stuff to pick from that you can say, okay, I like this theme. And then you can just go modify it a little bit and you're done. The SEO is not necessarily the best, but they are getting there. But to just get started, go build your website. Don't worry too much about the SEO to begin with. Let's just get your website built. You've got the content, you've got the information there. Later, then you can say, okay, what can I do to make this better? And then we can go from there, because you don't want to try to do it all at once anyway. You know, you're just getting started. You get that website up, you're going to be excited. You've got it. It works. It's got your, your pictures. It's got your information. And it's going to be great. That is a fantastic thing to do. All right, great. Now that's been up and rolling a little bit, and then we'll take the next step and the next step. But all of these will work for you. Wix, Squarespace. I would say Wix and Squarespace just to get started, but they are more pricey. GoDaddy's a little bit cheaper, but they have a really good website builder. So if you're wanting to go cheap, and we're all some cheap bees, go ahead and go with say GoDaddy. Their website builder's fine, And I would say for right now, stay away from WordPress. I love WordPress. It is fantastic. Stay away from WordPress. Don't worry about WordPress right now. It's going to be overly complicated. You want something that is just like creating a Word document where you can do a few things and you have what you need. You can worry about getting more complicated later.
Okay. Now spell Wix.
Wix.
Okay.
Looks like Joe just came in. Hello, Joe Main. How you doing?
Hey, Joe Main.
Joe doesn't need a web page builder. He's got Woodmiser, right, Joe?
You kind of faded off there, Dan, John. Don't you, Joe?
I didn't fade off. I faded off, or he faded off?
No, you did.
Oh, I said Joe Main doesn't need a web page builder. He's got Woodmiser. Do all his promotion, right?
Yeah, that's the truth. So John, you started a website a while back of sawmill locations all over the United States. We got in on that when you first started it, but I kind of lost track of that. Is that still going, or?
It is still going. I've been kind of distracted surviving and making a living. But it is still going. I would greatly want to get every freaking sawmill in the United States. That would be great. And so if anybody has a sawmill and it's not listed, let's get it listed. And it's a listing that you can control yourself. That's another place where you can actually upload pictures and put in your own content. Most of what you see there are sawmills that I put the information in, but there are some people that have actually, like John Davidson, put in his own information.
Yeah, I think we put in our information when we first got on it, but I don't even remember what the site was now. Can you go down there in the comments and type that site in, and that way some of our viewers can find it also that have sawmills?
Okay.
I don't know if you can type it in that chat or not. It'll come up, but it'll come up in private chat, and then we can.
It is in private chat.
Oh. Sawmills and lumber? There you go. Okay. Got it. That's what I put it in the comments a couple times already.
Yeah.
I brought it up a little while ago, and Two Brothers is on there.
Yeah. That'll show up on Two Brothers chat and my chat.
Yep, there it is.
There you go.
Okay. Yep.
So here's another one. If you go to Two Brothers Outdoors YouTube page and you're watching from their page, type in Sawmill right now, and it'll come up with your YouTube address. That's always cool. That's always fun. And they won't teach me how to do it because they know how to do all that stuff, and they won't teach me how to do it.
Negative Ghost Rider.
See?
Probably
somebody walked me through it, and I was lucky to catch them at that point, and then they just kind of faded off into the sunset. We don't hear from them anymore.
That's what I was thinking about, when I was asking about an app. You know what I mean? With something like that for the sawmill and lumber. Where I
that would be great for the public to be able to find a spot where they could go to a website or something to find a sawmill close to them. And that's what I think John was trying to set up.
It is. And there's a map, so they can actually zoom in and find
But getting it out to the public is the problem.
It's actually better.
Yeah, I could do better.
Your site is actually better than the Woodmiser Sawyer network because it has that map. Earlier today I zoomed in, was able to, instead of just picking a state, you can find the exact location, and it's a lot easier than trying to find someone in Indiana.
Right.
Were you on there, Paul?
Earlier today, yeah.
Did you look us up?
Are you on there? Oh, good.
We're not, no.
Oh, well, then you need to get on it.
Sell lumber? They don't want to sell lumber. They don't want to sell anything.
Well, if you go there, you can register, and then I'll approve it, and then you'll be able to add information, pictures, your logo, that type of thing. I said that because I thought you needed a logo, right?
Yes.
I was making a joke there, but yeah, you can upload whatever.
And the logo. I like how you threw that in there. Sneaky, John, sneaky.
But I think that the more people use it, the better the resource becomes. And then
you're correct. Getting it out there to the public, though, that would be the thing to do.
Now,
just trying to think how we could help you out on our YouTube channels to get this.
Well, probably what you've probably just done now is probably get a few and correct. Do not use Bluehost unless you like pain.
So here's the other one, Jen. I want to tell you this. I just saw you in chat again. You don't use CapCut, do you? Get out of that.
John's
Delete
been
CapCut
hounding
from
everybody.
your phone.
Get out of Cap. It's burning down.
Run.
Get out. Get out.
Okay, just want to make sure you don't have any data on CapCut.
There you go.
Okay, sorry, I had to get that out there. That was nuts.
It's also Chinese ran.
Yeah,
John, that Sawmill and Lumber, that site, that's the one that we advertise on usually for this show? Or is that a different site?
Nope, that's it.
That's
The same one?
Nope.
Okay.
no.
Thank you for letting us advertise on there too. That's greatly appreciated.
I don't think you are advertising on here.
No.
Okay,
That's
you're talking
Facebook.
about the Facebook group.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's
I'm
different.
actually talking. Yeah, Sawmills and Lumber is an actual website. It's not on Facebook.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. I got to look that up. I had never seen it.
Right.
I
See,
told you
that's
that, Tim.
What's that?
About
I told you that, Tim.
Told me what?
about 16 times we told you that
Yeah.
they're different. Facebook is different from a website.
Oh, and so what
Facebook is a website.
I told you I have no technical abilities.
Right.
I
So
just-
right. I'm just trying to let John know where we're at. He thinks we're here. You know
No,
what I mean? And we're
see how
like-
low I'm sitting? I'm way
Right,
down.
yeah,
Way
we're
down.
way down here.
I'm way down here.
Facebook is just one website, just a rather large one.
Gotcha. Well, I mean, we get a lot of people, off of that.
Oh yeah.
But so again,
And
we
that's-
appreciate you letting us do that.
And I love your YouTube shorts. My God. And it's so fun to see those. You guys are doing great with those.
Well, I've knocked them way back because doing 3 a day is kind of tough. But we're down to 1
I
a day.
don't know how many they are. I just know that they routinely come up in my feed, right?
Oh, do they really?
So, well, I follow you. So they're going to come up.
There you go.
A lot of it's bickering between people like to bicker between us. Rick and I bicker each other.
People like to watch us bicker.
No,
Well,
They're
there is
they're
a-
like people watching.
the bickering. They like the bickering.
It's fun because we know you guys aren't serious, right? Well,
No, we
most of
are.
the time.
We are.
Are you?
One,
Yeah.
I could tell you right now, one Christmas years ago, we all took our families and went to our mother's house for Christmas, and me and him got in an argument, and I hit him, and he lost his balance, hit the back of the couch, and went through the picture window out on the ground.
Oh my goodness.
And that was a Merry Christmas, I can tell you.
Oh yeah.
And it's just like in your time of life now, not when you were kids.
This is when, well, we were adults, but we were in our 30s, weren't we?
Okay.
No, a little
Like
younger.
40 years ago.
A
Yeah.
little younger than that. You might have been 30. I wasn't 30 yet.
I don't know if we could come to fisticuffs and survive now.
Yeah.
Well, you guys are a trip to watch, that's for sure.
One of us would end up in the nursing home.
That the stuff where he hits me in the head with the board when he turns around, that's not fake. And I do get mad. And he usually cuts that out. The bleeping.
So are you usually, do you guys like take turns filming, or what do y'all do on that?
Yeah, we take turns filming.
Yep.
Depends on which ones are running. We have 2 sawmills set up, and if he's running his sawmill, I'll film, and if vice versa, if I'm running, he'll film. And the shorts, they can happen at any time. We could be fishing, we could be hunting, we could be just standing in the yard.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Shorts are so nice because you pull out the phone, you hold it this way, and you just videotape what you want. And we got that U cup on our app for our phones, and we can usually edit it pretty quick.
I actually have U-Cut as well. I like
I
it. It's
love
quick.
it.
It's quick and easy to edit.
Love
Yes.
it. You
Very
put the
quick.
logo on there. It's nice. I like it.
There's a lot of times he'll do a short of me, and I won't even know he's filming, and I won't know it until I see it on YouTube.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
you
A couple
go
days later, he goes, "Hey, were you videotaping me?" I sure was.
If you go back far enough in our channel, you'll see us ice fishing. And I think that one year I caught him pissing about 50 times.
Oh, good Lord. You had a fetish about that. I don't know why.
How long have you guys been using U-Cut?
Oh, wow. 3 years, 4 years?
Oh, longer than that, I would say. Probably
That-
ever since we quit using Windows editing program.
Okay. Thomas, when I first started talking to Thomas, he used it and he referred it to me back when I started my channel.
Yeah, Thomas told me he uses it. Yep.
Yeah.
Trouble
Well, it's
is,
so
that
easy on the phones, you know?
he referred it to you, Craig, but you haven't done anything with it.
Well, I'm in the process. I'm working on it.
Craig's done a couple of shorts.
Process.
with
That is
funky music.
that's a long thing. Process. It can cover anything you want.
Now, Craig, let me ask you a question. You have a computerized set works on your sawmill?
Yeah.
So mother works out there with you, right?
No.
How do you run the
I know.
computer?
I know my numbers. I know my numbers.
How long did it take you to learn how to do it with mother standing there showing you?
She doesn't come outside. She does inside. I do outside.
She came out to get your credit card.
Yeah. Whoa, yeah, that was fun.
So
That was fun.
so here you go.
Craig,
That won't be
Craig,
happening again.
Craig is the
What?
Craig is the only person on here tonight that has paid to be on here.
On
So-
You should have charged him more.
Next month, his wife is coming on here as a guest
she said she'd think of it.
on the song. She said she just told me she would love to.
Oh,
Yes,
Just
she
as a
did.
guest.
Yes,
Yep.
she
Did
did.
she tell you that tonight?
She,
Yes, yes. She told John and I both.
tonight.
First
what,
15
when she was
minutes.
logging me in?
And
Huh?
yep,
When she was
Being
logging
a
me in?
Sawyer's wife. That's what she's going to talk about. Being a Sawyer's
Oh
wife.
boy,
Yep.
you guys have opened up a can of worms.
Yep, we sure did.
you opened it up. You gave her the credit card. Right.
Well, I
Yep.
know, but
So-
I just asked her. I asked her to do something,
Right, and she
both
did it.
of us
It's right
were.
down
I'd
there at
already
the
went
bottom.
outside, so I didn't. She's like,
It's
"Hey,
right
I
down
need a
there.
credit
See that?
card." So when my
$20.
wife comes out, hey,
You see that? You see that, Craig? She
Yeah.
bought that time. She bought
yeah,
it.
$20. I mean, I'm okay with that, dude. I'm good with that.
So
She
we
goes,
ran
well,
a-
Craig won't be sitting here for 15 minutes. I'll think over the desk.
Yeah, you guys can look at her for a few minutes.
Well, that'd be an upgrade.
Yes. Yeah.
So we
no
put
doubt.
out a goal at the beginning of the channel, a YouTube goal, and the goal was to have one person give us $20,
Yep.
and they could come on next month's show for
I was a great example.
for $20. They come on the next month's show for 30 minutes, and I met that goal. Craig's wife, she wanted to come on my channel for 30 minutes.
We'll get Thomas's next. We get Stephanie in November or something, huh?
Craig,
There you go.
Craig just
Yeah.
says, hey, I don't know what the guys are doing in there, so go take care of that. So she took care of it.
Yes, she did.
Yeah, we talked to her for a good 5-10 minutes, Greg.
We're going to find out all about you next month, Craig.
All right.
30
Now,
minutes. We're going to
Just
grill
so-
your wife.
Victor, I appreciate
Maybe
that, Victor.
just so John Chapman knows what we're talking about, we have a private chat set up for the guys that's on this roundtable. And John suggested we have, what did you call it, John?
What?
What do you call
Super
them?
chats.
What is it?
Super chats.
Super
Super
chat.
chat.
Yeah, yeah.
We have a super chat set up, so if somebody pays us $20 to super chat, they can be on the show for 30 minutes. And he threw the idea out there on this private chat that we have. So John pops right up. I've already got one $20 super chat. And then Craig pops on and says, yeah, and I've already chewed her out for it. And we thought he was joking, but he wasn't. His wife got on there and sent John a super chat for $20.
That's great.
With my credit card.
That's
Your
great.
credit card. That's even better. Oh, Lord have mercy.
So really, that's what she's going to talk about, being a Sawyer's wife.
Yeah.
Yep. That's
Yes.
really what she's going to talk about. She's going to talk
Yep.
about the sawdust all over the house and how she can't park her car in the garage.
She said it
and-
could
Oh,
take
she-
anywhere from
she
30
did
minutes
talk
to an
to ya.
hour.
I told you. Yep. And how she had
Yeah.
too much wood in the house, and everything was wooden. She couldn't get anything, any
Yep.
glass or anything plastic, any
Yep.
bought in furniture.
Look,
Look at him. Look at him. See, she's coming on the show next month, Greg. I want
Greg's
to
got-
talk to her. We
Greg's
gotta
got
schedule.
some color to him.
Yeah,
Hey,
you did
Craig's
talk to
turning
her,
re-
didn't you?
Craig's turning red.
Yep,
You
we
did
did
talk
talk
to
to her.
Oh no.
Oh goodness. Yeah.
Hi, boys.
Hi.
We will see you next month.
Next month.
She said bye.
I bet you don't have this much fun, do you, John?
I haven't had this much fun in a while. I'll tell you the truth.
John missed out when he was here. They were out of town. So he only got to visit with me, not the women. So he missed out.
Yeah, you weren't too far from us there not too long ago. You were over towards the Great Lakes. And were you in Ohio or New York?
Oh, you're talking like a few weeks ago?
I think it was, might even been last fall.
Okay, well, I'm up here in Erie, Pennsylvania, so I'm right on the Great Erie Great Lake.
Okay.
You're not far from us.
You were showing a spot there on your where you were working. I thought it was up right next to the Great Lakes, but I thought it was in New York. Might have been.
That probably was in New York. Yep. Yeah, we did do and it was like looking out over a lake.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
That wasn't. Yeah, that was that was like a little inlet type thing and high dollar houses. It was beautiful. A lot of New York is very beautiful.
Most of New York is beautiful. If the city fell off, if the city were to fall off, we'd be a fantastic state.
Yeah, that's for sure.
I mean, you got to give them credit. They preserve the Adirondacks and the Catskills and keep their condos and stuff out. But even so, some of the rules they make are absolutely insane.
Yeah. I remember years and years ago, I was like, well, let's go see Niagara Falls. And we cut through New York. It was kind of like the back way. I could not believe, because here I am from Texas, had this perception of New York City representing New York, right? No. And we're driving through, and it was just trees and trees and trees and trees. So gorgeous.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we actually get people to hike the whole Appalachian Trail. And then they'll come up to New York and hike the Lake Placid Trail and end up dead because they get lost. We've had that happen. We've had that happen several times. These are big woods up here. People don't realize that.
They're
There's a lot of timber, and a lot of uncharted land up here.
Paul, how
Still
deep are
now.
you guys
Don't
into
let people know that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't
How,
let people
how
do
deep
that.
are you into that park, Paul?
We're actually right on the edge. It's about the park boundary, about half mile down the road,
Yeah, you're
You're
like
outside or
property
inside?
borders the park.
just outside. Yeah,
Yeah, our property
Yeah,
borders the park too.
best place to be because you get the advantages of the park, but not the regulations.
Right.
Correct.
What's the park? What's the park's name?
It's the Adirondack Park.
Okay.
They call it a blue line. They have a blue line that runs around the Adirondacks, and inside that blue line, you got to paint your houses brown or green, and they got all kinds of regulations to protect the Adirondacks. And our property borders that blue line. We're outside the blue line, and Paul's outside the blue line as well. That makes your property very valuable, and it makes it easier for you to be able to function because you don't have the APA or the ADK regulations on your back.
Right.
When you say you
But
back
John-
up against it, is it literally your property is right up against the line?
Yep.
Yes.
Oh, nice.
The blue line runs right along our back boundary line.
Okay.
Which is a rock
Same
wall.
for you, Paul?
What's
No,
that?
it's about a half mile from where we are, so we don't abut
I mean-
it, but it's
Oh, okay, gotcha.
just down the road.
It makes
See a
it
lot of wildlife.
yeah, a lot of wildlife.
That's very cool.
So what part of Texas are you from?
Dallas Fort Worth.
Oh my God. My first wife came from Dallas Fort Worth.
Oh.
Well,
But he didn't
my
stop.
first
But he
ex-wife came
didn't.
from Dallas
But
Fort
he
Worth
didn't
too.
stop there.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I think she ended up in Bridgeport. Does that sound familiar?
Yeah.
But anyway.
So, John Davidson, you had a format of some sort.
How to
Or is that
format? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Forgot all about the format. We got a show around here. Huh?
People are
We got
watching
all
saying,
the water.
what's next?
You want to go back to
Exactly.
Well, John's been doing so good
I
the
don't have
last three
anything to do
shows.
about lumber.
Well, actually, we're at the end of the show now. It's 10:30, almost 10:30.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, wow.
So
Time is
we
really
are
gone by
just
today.
about at the end of it.
That way I
You
can
brought a
get
lot of
started.
information in, John, that even we can use, and we appreciate that.
Yeah, lots of good info.
Well, and I brought it in for, the viewers, obviously, and I hope some of the viewers, even if they're on YouTube, even if they're not, can get something out of this.
Right.
Because there's viewers, even now, if they're out there and not running a sawmill or not running a sawmill, channel. This information didn't have to apply to sawmills and sawmill channels. If you're running a quilting business, you still need a web page, and you still need a presence online, and you can still need a good camera to take a photo of you can list your quilting business on Fourth Wall. You know what I mean? That you can get merch for your quilting business. And so I wanted to bring it to everybody, and I know it wasn't our usual, sawdust and lumber and trekking through the woods talking about dead ash trees, but I thought that, I don't know, I was hoping somebody would get something out of this, and I think people did.
I think quite a people did get something out of it, John, because we do this end of the tech with YouTube, unfortunately.
Right.
So it is something that we have to learn as well. I mean, James has taught me a lot of stuff that I didn't even know, like the merch. We tried basically selling everything with our logo. That didn't go anywhere. So I said, drop it. We had Teespring, drop it. We're not making any money on it. Why waste our time? But with him coming up with the different ideas and sayings and stuff like that, now it makes sense.
Right.
His logo might be hidden in there somewhere, but it's an AI logo, not his logo or signature or something, which is awesome.
Yeah.
And then John comes in here with and then John comes in here, with the websites. I mean, I didn't know about Google Business. I'm going to try and fill one out, Rick and I, and get that going, and then maybe Rick can talk to John about setting us up on a website. But yeah, that's something I'm interested in.
It's all part of the equation.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean,
is John
the Google business profile first? That's really what I would go with immediately.
He's back.
You cut out. What did you say, John?
In the order of precedence, I would get your Google business profile set up. That's top of the line right there. What you need to do.
Yep. I'm probably going to work on it tomorrow. It's supposed to rain all day. Oh, what a surprise.
Yeah.
Well, I certainly learned a lot tonight, and I appreciate you coming on, John. And anytime you want to come on, you're more than welcome to come on.
Absolutely.
I appreciate that. Absolutely. I do appreciate that.
And anytime you want to plug a business or plug anything you got going on, feel free. You can even come on for a couple of minutes and plug it if that's what you want to do.
And I appreciate that. And I'll reiterate, anybody needs any assistance, just email me.
Go ahead and plug your site again there for the sawmills, John.
It's sawmillsandlumber.com.
And what does that do again?
It's a directory of sawmills, whether they're fixed or whether they travel. Also, it's got people that sharpen the blades in there. That's a category you can select. There's several different things in there you can select, but it's all related to the sawmills.
They even have
And-
Sawmill YouTube channels. I saw that in there.
I do. I have some. Yes.
He's
that's-
also buddies with Brendan, John. We've been trying to get Brendan Vandekamp on here as a vet.
And there was some sections for woodworking too, wasn't there? Or crafts or something like that, or
Don't
Or
believe
not.
so.
okay.
No, I don't think
It
so.
was okay. There was a section on there for lumber, if you're selling lumber
I-
or not.
Okay. I did have a section for some classifieds where you could actually buy and sell
Okay.
lumber. It's
Let's-
really hasn't done anything on that part. So
Well, I'm gonna do that right there. Sawmills and lumber is gonna be in our chat, and probably in most of the descriptions of these lives from now on, because man, right? If we can't,
Yeah,
if we can all
absolutely.
just get together, you know what I mean? With
it's just
somebody-
it's just a free resource that helps everybody.
yeah. It,
You got a Facebook group too called Sawmills and Lumber too, right?
Yes.
Correct. Yep.
We're
That's
on
where I
that.
was all messed up with.
Yeah, we're on that. That's
Mm-hmm.
an interesting group too. I'd like to see that start moving a little more than what it does.
And on that particular thing, I actually have been trying to foster a little bit more conversation, and I've been inviting people and trying to get it to grow the Facebook group. I probably need there's a number of things I know I need to do, and I look at my schedule day to day, and I'm like, well, I don't have time for that right now.
Well, we tried to put some content on there for you as often as we could, but we've gotten so busy this year. It's just like almost
Yeah.
insane. We can barely function with YouTube right now. It's been so busy.
Yeah.
Been a good year.
No, awesome. I'm glad to hear that.
So
if I put that website on our Facebook page, that should come up like in the blue where all I gotta do is click on that, right?
yeah, you got to put the HTTPS or whatever it is in front of it,
Okay.
right?
And no www.
Right, just H. Oh, leave the www off.
just click on the link and you're
Correct.
I click on it, John. Don't do nothing.
yeah.
Just like you won't do nothing for
You
you.
got it. No, if you go to your channel, go to your YouTube channel, look in your chat of this live stream, and then it will.
Oh, okay. All right. Not in here, but
Not in here, not in StreamYard.
well, maybe if it's in private chat. Oh, I can copy it right out
Yeah,
there.
in private chat you can do it.
I can
And I just
copy it.
pasted it. I just sent a little message there. I've got it without the www.
Okay,
We can
there
take-
it is.
We could take your website and we can add it to our YouTube videos down in the description. Try to get a few people
Absolutely.
going in that direction.
Yep.
Yeah, we can do
Oh,
that.
sounds great. And then if you guys think about it, if there's anything else I can do to help or whatever, let me know.
We will.
Hey.
You've been a big help as it is. Paul, you need to get on there and get your sawmill on there. Otherwise, we might not be able to find you.
Yeah.
That's the plan for you guys.
And by God, get a logo, will you? Holy cow. I've only been after you for 3 years for that.
Yeah.
It's
you.
all
We
about
will
business,
eventually.
isn't it? Yep.
Well, that
It's
one
in
with the
we're in
fence with
process.
Fenway out there, that's a nice looking logo. I'd keep that.
We're in the process. It's in the process.
I see James is still watching.
Oh no.
He was awesome.
Is James
Yeah,
on here
just-
still?
Craig, I just
He's
emailed
just text- he
John
just
Knock
text Craig-
off
or
the
just,
works logo.
He just sent a thing for Craig.
Oh, nice.
Oh, hey, let me show that. Let me show. I'll see if I can get James's too. But what do you? Just know a mock-up logo.
Craig, I just emailed John a mock up of a merch
All right.
logo for you.
So we'll see what.
Awesome. Send
see
it to
what we
me.
got
Yeah, Vic.
here.
Vic that was on
Yeah,
here
we
earlier
got
with the
here.
cannon. He said he's going to try to get your website out there too, John.
Yeah, he saw that. I put it up on there.
I got-
He knows a
I
lot
got
of
your
people.
logo. There you go. Here's the one that Jen got for you, Craig. That's the one that Jen made. Jen Hardy. Real Jen
That's a
Hardy.
great looking. That's great.
No face.
Like I said, it's great.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's great.
Put that
It's
back
his
up there, would
face.
you?
Nope.
Oh,
You're gonna have to watch the replay.
You got to pay now.
Yeah, you gotta pay.
Okay.
I'm gonna go
You
talk
gotta
to
pay to
mother.
play.
Let me see. Let me see if I can find James's. All right, you guys are gonna have to go ahead, and I'll see if I can find James's. Uh-oh, Craig's mock up. Oh my goodness.
Well, guys, it's getting late. We need to start shutting this down, getting ready to go.
All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and exit. Thanks, guys. It was great being
Thank you,
on
John.
here.
We appreciate
you,
everything, John.
Thanks, John.
We'll be in touch.
Appreciate your time, buddy.
Yes, sir. I'll see y'all later.
Thank you very
Have a
much.
good night.
Good night.
Right on.
And here's the one that James designed for you. Man, and I'm sure you got. And you better get a merch shop, Craig.
That was good.
Kilted Sawyer, the beard, and
Say it again.
Kilted Sawyer with the beard and all the merch you could sell.
Vic, thanks for helping us out tonight. We appreciate it. Have a good night.
Absolutely. Thank you, Vic.
Meb, have a good
There's
night.
one
Oh,
James
look
did
at
for you.
that. Look at that.
Chris from Out of the Woods, thanks for joining us tonight. Have a good night.
And there's
James
the one Jen
Hick,
did for
We
you.
appreciate you being on.
Yeah, thanks a lot, James.
All of you.
Yeah, it was awesome.
We learned a
I
lot
wasn't
tonight.
sure what to expect during the day. Thinking about it, that turned out really well.
Oh, wait a minute. I got one thing I wanted to throw on there. Too late
Buffalo.
now. I wanted to
No,
play that little short clip there that
With the beard.
Starbucks put out there for our Sawmill channel.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, put it on there.
I don't know how. I
Where's that?
can't.
Where's it at?
He's on-
Is that what
on
you sent to
YouTube.
me earlier today?
Yeah, Sawbucks.
Yeah.
That,
Yeah.
that was the one that was on the Sawmill
With the beard.
Roundtable
With the
private
beard. Sawmill Roundtable.
private chat, John.
Oh, with the beard.
Yeah,
We'll put
yeah.
it on. We'll put it on next time.
On it. I can put it on right now.
Oh, okay, cool.
No, I can't.
Okay, never mind.
Never mind.
Oh,
I
cool.
can't.
No, never mind.
So, yeah, we can't put it on here.
Okay.
He has it. He owns the rights to it. It's on YouTube.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Oh,
put
you
it
can't
on
play
our show.
YouTube. You can't play YouTube on here.
Right.
No.
So was that
Absolutely
my
not.
beard, or did Sawbucks have his own beard?
I think and Sawbucks
he
doesn't
got
have. He doesn't have a beard. I think he was just making fun
I
of us
saw-
with the beards.
I know, but did he take my beard?
Yeah, I think he did.
Yeah, I think it was yours, Craig.
I was gonna say,
Yours
good
or Neil's. Neil's got a pretty long beard too. One of you.
I meant my your wood
His
buddy, your
doppelganger.
wood guy.
He meets the guy. Yeah, the guy sitting down by the box.
Oh, the long guy.
Yeah.
Easy, Craig.
Oh,
He's gonna blow a gasket. Careful.
Is that the beard he uses? Is that the beard he used in the video?
Paul
No.
throws in some of the best words at just the right moments.
What Paul
No,
say?
the beard on the log, Craig, is a mop.
I know that. I was just wondering if it was, you know what I mean?
It wasn't a
He-
mop. It was
he
more like
was
a Santa
over-
Claus beard or something.
Well, I saw the tin of blue.
Oh, I didn't see the blue. I thought it was white.
That log beard looked like it went and been manicured for a few hours.
Yeah.
There you go.
Good night there,
There
Dan
you go.
Sawfish. Thanks for coming in. Yep, there's Craig in the snow. Burr.
That's the guy. Man. You know, we can
Promote that.
no, we
We
can
can put that on our webpage, Rick.
all right, you can
What's
get that on
that?
a t-shirt right there.
Come
t-shirt.
visit
That's
the
merch.
Logman.
Logman guarding the box.
Yeah. Ooh, I like it.
Me too. Logman
Crafter shed.
guards. Logman guards hardwood in box.
What people don't know is his eyes.
Okay,
are
John, don't get going there.
You know I gotta go there. Come on,
Yeah,
Paul.
at least
You're
one
going
time.
there
a night.
too. You're smiling. He's ready to go there.
All right, guys, you about ready to wrap this up?
Yep, we are.
Yeah, hang
Yeah,
on just
Nate.
a half a second. Give me
All
half
right,
a second
everybody.
here.
Thanks
Half
for
a second.
joining us tonight. It's been a pleasure. Thank you for our
Wait a
special
minute.
guest, John, Tom.
Wait a minute.
James.
Rick's got something, right?
Hang on just a second before you go.
We're waiting.
And we most certainly want to thank James for taking his time coming on here. That was
Yeah,
awesome.
He was good.
He had a lot
That's
of
Thank you, John, for all that you do for this
community.
live every month. You put a lot of work into it, and I appreciate you helping us out. And thank you very much.
If you guys do are in sports, he does a really good sports show. You know what I mean? He really does.
James,
Talks.
Okay.
Yep. He talks about the sports things that nobody else is. He's not talking about the headlines. You know what I mean?
Yep.
He's taking a deep dive into the real stuff that's going on behind the sports. It's a really good sports show.
current
It's just-
stuff, John.
Yeah, current stuff. And I don't like sports. You know what I mean? I could care
Yep.
less about sports, but I still go watch that show, that live show. You know what I mean? Of him and the other guy talking about sports. And it's just yep, there he is in the beard. That's a different beard for sure.
Yeah.
That's a different beard for sure.
I had to watch that twice today.
It was
So I
funny
think
though.
that's you, Craig.
He's been over to the boutique with that beard.
All right.
All
I
right,
am
you gotta
guys,
tell
we
us.
appreciate everybody that showed up tonight, and thank you very much as usual. We appreciate your participation. Everybody that was on tonight, thank you for coming on, and we are going to end this stream right now. Good night, everybody.
Not all.
Good night. Later.
Good night.